shared why during a recent press conference.
I think in the end, being able to come back and be with this team for another year, I care about this place so much.
In area high school football, Daytona Beach Mainland's Jacob Getman stunned St. Augustine in the Florida High School Athletic Association's Class 3S football championship on Thursday. Mandarin will take on Columbus of Miami this afternoon for the 4M Class Championship. At your Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update, I'm Sam Nelson.
At 10:01, it's 63 degrees. Time and 10 brought to you by Bueller Air Conditioning. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Guys are going to have to step up, and we're going to have to find ways to keep moving forward offensively and to play well. There's no excuse for a guy going down. No one really cares in the NFL. If you get a guy hurt, there's no excuses to not perform and to not produce. So we understand that, and the guys are going to step up, and we got great players, and that's why you have depth, because in this sport, you can't take anything for granted, and you're never going to have a guy for the whole season guaranteed. Anything can happen at any moment, and that's why guys have to be prepared.
We got a lot of confidence in CJ. What he's done here, obviously his history. You look at the week of, he didn't have any snaps with our offense. He hasn't had any snaps with our offense really, and you go out there, and that's part of being a backup quarterback. You've got to be ready to go. If the case this week where he'll get all the snaps today, and we'll see how the week goes.
It doesn't matter what these other teams do. We're good enough to beat anybody on any day, and we have to do that. And we didn't do that last week, and we get another opportunity to this week. We still control our own destiny, but we can't worry about teams from behind us, because that adds pressure, adds anxiety, and you just worry about playing 1 week at a time. It doesn't matter. We've already played Houston twice. We've already played Indy twice. We got Tennessee later in the year, and we're not going to get another opportunity to play those guys, so we can't focus on what they're doing or how close they are to us. We got to take care of business on the field each week, and that's our responsibility.
1010XL 92.5 FM presents Jaguars Today with your hosts Mike Dempsey, Tony Smith, Tom McManus, and
hold my pocket,
Dylan Denmark.
We didn't have time to get one made for Aaron Beasley. How about that? I guess he's more of a guest than a host today, because I've been informed he's got a tea time, Tommy.
That's right, he does. He does.
We got priorities up around these parts. So, good morning, everybody. Happy Friday, Keys to Victory Friday. Mike Dempsey, Tony Smith. You always get Tommy Mack, and brought a former teammate of yours along for the ride, huh?
Killer, baby. Killer's in the house.
Killer B's in the house. What's up,
right.
Aaron? How are you?
I'm good, man. Hey, me and Tom, tell them about them workouts we used to have in the summer on the beach.
We did. In the dune, remember we were running on the dunes, and the lady came up, she's like, it's illegal to run on our dunes. We're like, really? We're running up the hill, like getting a workout in? So then we stopped doing that, but then we get in the soft sand, and we do all these drills and runs. The difference was Bees would barely touch the sand, and me and Wade and the others would be like deep. It was like running in mud. And he was running on air the whole time. It wasn't fair.
But you had great calves after that, I'm sure. So it was all worth it, man.
It was. We did get after it.
Bees, how are you, man? It's good to see you. Good to have you in town. And just how's life for Aaron Beasley right now?
Good, man. It's been a year since I've been back. I moved back down here last November, and it's just, man, I just love the energy being back in the city. It's the team's winning. And I just feel like I can bring some good stuff, like with what I'm doing business wise, and I'm just happy to be back. I love being
something about Jacksonville. It brings all you guys, or a lot of you guys, back, or some of you never leave, man. But it's nice to be in a place like they say where everybody knows your name, right?
That's right.
Exactly. That's the one thing I know is like I ran into Harold Carmichael. He's a Jacksonville guy up in Philly. I was at a Philly golf tournament, and I told him I moved back down here. And I was telling him how funny it is. I'm like, you're from Jacksonville. You live in Philly. I'm from Philly, and I'm moving to Jacksonville.
Yeah.
And the first thing he said, stay where you played. Because that's where you can have a better post-career, when people know you. And that's the one thing I want to bring. Like, it's not about me down here for money or anything. I love training kids, and I want to have a place where I can be like, yo, we're going to turn Jacksonville into the #1 football city for high schools. That's what my goal is.
And we got some raw material here.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
So
without a doubt.
Tony knows. He sees it despite.
Oh, yeah.
We lost, St. Augustine lost to Mainland yesterday.
So, oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
They were pretty much a juggernaut this year.
Field goal right at the whistle.
Yeah.
Really?
Got him, yeah.
That was last night?
That was yesterday afternoon, yeah.
Yep.
Is anybody in it?
Mandrin plays today.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
And who's tonight?
Bradford.
Bradford County.
Bradford,
yeah.
okay. Who's Mandarin guy?
I knew it was a B, but I knew it wasn't Baldwin.
Yeah.
Now, are these the finals?
Sorry, Pockets.
Yeah, state finals.
Yeah,
finals. Yeah, man.
For the whole ball of wax,
Wow.
man. So,
Cool. Well, good luck to the Mandarin Mustangs.
Well, Bees, we're going to keep you. We won't keep you here all morning because we know you do have some activities.
I got a house to hit.
By the way, where are you playing? You want to share with us where you're playing?
I'll be at Southampton today.
Nice. Everybody loves Southampton, man. Yeah. You know why? Because it makes you feel good about your game, right?
Hey, I know where to go.
Bro,
I know where to go.
We all know to play Southampton, and it's a fine track. There's no question about it. But let's talk about what you saw, and with Tommy, obviously, we'll talk with you for the next couple hours. I know you guys dug into it on your podcast, I'm sure. But, Aaron, we've had several occasions coming off the Kansas City game. Jags basically laid kind of an emotional egg, right, against Houston. Didn't show up intensity-wise. The San Francisco game out of the bye, same kind of thing. I don't know if it was a lack of intensity, but got pushed around on both lines of scrimmage on Monday night, which with all the conditions setting up, playing for the number one seed in the AFC, you're at home, haven't been on Monday night in so long, you're playing a team who's lost their quarterback. How do you get that kind of performance? Is that just the NFL and we got to just deal with the fact that it's a week-to-week league, or is there something fixable in what we saw from the Jaguars on Monday night?
I just think there's so much talent in this league nowadays that anybody can win any game. Who would have thought Kansas City would have lost to Denver, So I just think any team can win, because if you don't bring your A game and you don't play your best every play, then things like that happen. I mean, we scored 31 points and we lose. I can't put that on the offense. That's the one thing. Because our goal was always 17 or under.
Yep.
And, to give up 34 points to a backup quarterback, that's not good.
Yep. When you've got a guy like Jake Browning who starts out the game going dink dunk, everything's short, and then he hits a big play to chase. Like, as a defensive back, what are you doing? Are you begging your coach to let you get up there and just like check him right at the line of scrimmage? I mean, what else can you do? It just seemed like every time Browning dropped back, you had somebody cutting across the middle, 5 yards deep, who was wide open. He'd get tackled after a couple more yards, but those 6-7 yard gains keep moving the sticks, right?
And that's the one thing. It looked like they were always a play ahead of us, with their play calling. We would call something on D, and they had the perfect call for it every time. So it's just hard when you don't got guys in the quarterback's face. He can just pat the ball. There's a hole in every zone, and they showed it.
Especially with no pressure.
Yeah. And the couple of times, Jacksonville didn't blitz a lot on Monday night, but the couple of times they did, they got burnt bad, right? Like it was just too easy to see where it was coming from. Exactly. And now you have a young quarterback that's like, oh, he vacated that zone. That's where I'm throwing the ball. Like he was comfortable enough that even when they tried to bring some heat on him, he was very comfortable with the read. This is where I have to go with the ball, because they didn't get to him early. Like it felt like one of those games you got to hit him early, and maybe you get him off his game.
It's funny, I just said that. Like you got to get a guy like that out of his element right away. You don't want him comfortable, because now, every quarterback knows the coverages. You see the guy go to the middle. It's probably a cover 1 or a cover 3. You see the guy split, cover 2. And we didn't disguise it all. He had his read right away. Yep. I was watching from the terrace suite. I can see the all 22 angle. And I'm looking, I'm like, man, I know what coverage they're in, so he knows it.
Right. No disguise, that type of thing. I think it also just, we talked about the physicality, like even the offensive line. Like, come on, like Sheriff Fortner, that it's got to be better. Now, here's the thing. You got to wonder. I just thought it. Like, look, Doug, he's passed first. He said that publicly, right? Like, hey, man, we're not a line up and pound it and do this. We're going to pass it first. We're going to zone block our run game. Maybe it's okay if we're not as physical. As long as we score more points than the other team, who cares? I'm speculating, which I shouldn't do, but it feels like maybe that's part of it, because they aren't that rough and tough. The defense was it for a while, but it wasn't Sunday night.
No,
and that was shocking too.
They have all season not been able to impose their will on anybody with the run game.
Well, I'll say this: every team that's beaten them out physicaled them from the get. Like San Fran was all over, right from the get-go.
What do we got this week? very physical Cleveland team.
No, I know. And
right?
a QB that can whip it if you let him. I mean, he'll kill you.
Well, they'd love to play it in a phone booth, too, and make this about the line of scrimmage.
You're right.
And, it's supposed to be typical Cleveland December weather, nasty slobber knocker game. But, Tommy, what you see from the linebacking core on Monday night? I mean, this is a team that had struggled all year to run the ball. They basically matched their season high.
Yep.
And when you add in what Browning added in scrambles, they had their best rushing game of the year.
Yeah, they were taking on blocks way too far away from the line of scrimmage. They were getting caught up. They weren't and the defensive line did no favors. Look, I always believe linebackers only as good as your defensive front. It's like a running back with an offensive line. You need those guys to keep big dudes off you so you can go make plays. And when I got to take on that guard, I got to take on that center, and I'm not meeting them at the line. I'm catching them at 3, 4, maybe 5 yards. They're getting 3, 4, 5 yards every carry. And overall, look, Mixon didn't kill him, but he killed him enough. You know what I mean?
Well, not only Mixon, but Brown as well was averaging
He
almost
did.
7 yards a carry.
I know. That's terrible. But look, all you can do is bounce back. I think, look, offense, like B said, you score 31 points, you've done enough. Defense, let's get back to when you were By the way, have you looked at their yards per carry given up? It's now creeping up to 4.1. Remember, it was at 3.6.
Right.
It's little by little. So we got to shore that up, man, if we're going to do something.
Yeah, look, these are the kind of games we thought they'd be playing at the beginning of the year, right?
Right.
We did. We thought the defense would. We thought we'd have to outscore teams in the 30s quite a bit.
Right.
And then you got conditioned to expect something completely different. Mike Caldwell yesterday basically said, I don't know what the hell happened to the run defense either. So we'll hear from Caldwell and Press Taylor later on the show. Right? I mean, not a great sign, but let's take advantage. Aaron Beasley's going to stay here for one more segment to the bottom of the hour. So if you've got a particular question for Aaron or a comment that you want his thoughts on, take advantage on the All Pro Roofing phone lines at 641-1010. Same number for the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures, where somebody says, can you guys tell Tommy Mack I love his show? So whichever show they're referring to, all your many shows.
I am doing one every day.
Shows, I don't know. I mean, this is your show.
This is a show.
So
I love
take
this
it
show
as this
too.
one that they love, but it could
I think they do love this.
It could be the horse's mouth.
It could be.
It could be your podcast.
Love it all.
It could
love
be a lot of things.
Man.
So, and we love the fact that Jacksonville, man, something about it. Another great Jaguar comes home, and Aaron Beasley to make
glad he's home.
Duval his permanent locale. And let's take advantage of him here in studio today. Tony Smith, Mike Dempsey, and Dylan Denmark here with you as well. If you want to hit us up on social media throughout the course of the program, you can do that at MD_1010XL, at 1010XL Fat Tony, at Meathead55, at Killa Bees 21. Make sure you get BEAS spelled correctly in there. And, of course, at 1010XL Denmark.
Hold my pocket.
All right, Jaguars Today, we're ready to roll. So light those phone lines up. Let's talk a little Jaguar ball with Aaron Beasley before he chases that other ball around the golf course all afternoon long. You're listening to Jaguars Today on a Keys to Victory Friday. So give us your keys to victory as well, as we'll do a Keys to Victory roundtable, as we always do, to wrap up the Friday show. But we'll ask Aaron, what are some of the key points in defeating, hopefully, the Cleveland Browns this week, other than simply having number 16 available to the Jacksonville Jaguars? This is Jaguars Today on 1010XL, 92.5 FM.
Jaguars Today Friday
is brought to you by
CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living from the JOI Studios at 1010XL, where the pros go. Your place for local sports play-by-play is 1010XL.
Andrew Gibson and Mia O'Brien have the call for the Fortegra High School Basketball Tournament final games tomorrow at 3:45 and 7 on 1010 AM.
Just like those little holiday snow globes, you better get ready to shake up the season, because Toyotathon is on at Arlington Toyota. Right now at Arlington, get financing as low as 2.99% on 10 new Toyota models. And Arlington has more than 500 new Toyotas available, plus every new Toyota purchase comes with Arlington's lifetime warranty. Toyotathon is on at Arlington. Shop in person, 10939 Atlantic Boulevard, or online 24/7 at arlingtontoyota.com.
Bolt City Heating and Air is truly a family-owned and operated local company and treats all customers like family. Don't be fooled by the out-of-towner equity firms and national corporations that use local names. There's one name you can trust when it comes to your home's heating and cooling system. Bolt City Heating and Air, Jacksonville grown and entirely loyal to this community. Schedule your winter maintenance by visiting BoltCityAC.com.
Come to Monahan Jewelers' 46th annual holiday sale now with up to 30% off on GIA certified diamonds and up to 40% off our entire store. Certified diamonds, gemstones, engagement rings, diamond studs, designer brands. We're not a big box store. We're your local family jeweler with an amazing hand-picked inventory for every budget. And with interest-free financing, enjoy beautiful jewelry with a low monthly payment. Support your local family jeweler this Christmas with up to 40% off our entire inventory. Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach. Open 7 days a week in December.
You dream it, we build it. CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living.
Turn your backyard into an outdoor living oasis with CSS. Your number one choice for custom outdoor kitchens, grills, fireplaces, pergolas, and outdoor living. Because
you dream it, we build it. CSS. CSS.
It doesn't matter what the records are. It's always one of the most important games of the year. Army, Navy. 1010XL's Army-Navy coverage is brought to you by Superior Fence and Rail, where quality matters.
Are you ready for the ultimate happy hour experience? Look no further than Bellwether, downtown's undisputed champion of good times. It's Tuesday through Saturday from 4 to 7 p, with the exception on Friday when happy hour starts at 11 a.m. Rally the team and head over to Bellwether. The vibe is full and the food is unbeatable. Free parking after 6 p on weekdays and all weekend. Bellwether Restaurant, where great food and the best happy hour in town come together for an epic win.
Frank Frangie here. Let Southern Steer Butcher add the perfect touch to your Christmas table. I'm talking prime and choice rib roast and tenderloin with side. Now accepting holiday orders until December 18th. Click on the holiday ordering tab at southernsteer.com.
Perfect Rag Billiards in Murray Hill is your spot to be for all your football needs. Full liquor bar, 8 pool tables, darts, and shuffleboard. Weekend specials include happy hour all day Friday to $3 seltzer Saturdays, along with wing and pitcher specials on Sunday. Watching the Jag game, $19 domestic buckets on game day. There isn't a better place to play pool, have a beer, and just kick back. Perfect Rack Billiards on Edgewood and Murray Hill. The best place in Jacks to watch sports.
The Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute is now offering online scheduling for new patient appointments for all of their physicians. Simply schedule your appointment on your cell phone, tablet, or desktop. JOI is the first orthopedic practice in North Florida to offer this feature to patients. To schedule your appointment online, visit joi.net and click on the button at the top of the page. If you'll be using insurance, be sure and have your information handy. JOI, where the pros go.
The holidays are a chance to enjoy the goodness of the human spirit. And at Famous Automotive and Tires, it's that. And the comfort to know they've done their best work on your vehicle. Season's greetings from Famous Automotive and Tire Centers.
The year is almost over. Do you need cash for the holidays or want to be credit card debt-free for the new year? Call Loan Pronto today. Their Express Equity line of credit can get you $20,000, $50,000, $100,000 in as little as 5 days. Listen, if you have a ton of equity in your house and Loan Pronto can help you turn that equity into cash, you can access up to 95% of your home's value. Use the money to pay off all your credit cards, pay off personal loans, or start that home improvement project. You can get the money you need now and still keep your primary mortgage intact. So your 3% rate, it's protected. And with Loan Pronto's Express Equity Line program, 90% of the time, there's no need for an appraisal. So you can get your money super fast. Get the holiday cash you need or pay off all those credit cards before the new year. Get yourself on solid financial footing before the year ends and call Loan Pronto now. 904-999-1508, 904-999-1508 or loanpronto.com. Equal Housing Lender, NLS 1661781, subject to lender approval.
The Army-Navy Game Watch Party is presented by the City of Jacksonville Military Affairs and Veterans Department. Watch on the world's largest screens with a kids zone and free admission or donation. Gates open at 2 for the Army-Navy Game Watch Party at Everbank Stadium.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Mac in the Middle. Tom McManus. Brought to you by Renewal by Anderson. A better way to a better window on 1010XL.
Of all things, we had a discussion of the vacation movies on the break right there. So you never know.
You never know.
You never really
That's
know.
always not on, though, right? We don't know.
No, the camera's off. We think pockets.
We're good.
We're good.
We are all good, I promise.
Make sure you take care of pockets around holiday time. Okay?
Oh, I will.
Fill,
I'll line his pockets.
Fill those pockets. He is the last line of defense here for the fellas.
Nice.
All right. Let me just ask you this one, guys. Kind of a lighthearted one before we get a little further into the breakdown with Aaron Beasley, who is joining us in studio here. Tom McManus here with us every Friday, of course. For you guys, when you get beat on a play or you have a particularly bad play, whatever, and you watch it back later with the team, how much are you busting on each other while it's going? Is that the forum for it, or is that just like you're serious and like, yes, coach, I'll do better next time?
If you get lit up, like say you don't see something, everyone will be like, oh,
right,
but everybody gets got.
Yeah,
so.
but everyone gets beat. So it's not like that kind of stuff.
Okay.
You feel it because the coach rewinds it 5, 6 times.
Right. See this again, McManus?
Yeah.
See this again, McManus?
They want to drill it in. You know what's funny, too, and Bees, like, you already know going into you've been playing these plays over all night long. Like, well, maybe not all night because you pass out after a while and then wake up. But when you wake up, you're like, oh, my gosh, I had that play. I got totally blocked. I missed the tackle or got beat on a whatever it is.
You remember your bad plays.
You know the bad plays right away.
Do they show you your good plays, though, too? Or
quickly.
They do. But it'll be one and done.
Yeah, it's pretty much.
Good job. This is a nice pick six, by the way.
Yeah.
McManus missed that tackle
good
5
play.
times.
You should have made it. Next play.
That was a really good play. Now, don't, do it again.
No, don't do these 5 plays.
Don't do these 5.
All right. So there you go. Just passing that along. A lot of people on the text line appreciate you stopping by and just love the fact that, I mean, again, Jacksonville's the former Jaguar magnet, man. You can't escape. You know, maybe you do for a short while, but it sucks you back in, like Aaron Beasley.
You know what? It's like Green Bay without the championships, and we've got the beach, so it's a way better place to live than Green Bay.
All right, can we get a championship in there?
I'm just saying, it's that kind of community. You know what I mean? It's
Other than all those titles that they have up there in Green Bay,
well, they are
Wisconsin.
title town for a reason, right?
Yes,
we got to get one in.
Let's go to the phone 641-1010. Brian's in St. Johns County wants to check in with Aaron Beasley and Tom McManus. What's up, Brian?
Hey, how you doing?
Good.
Sorry, I got
Hey, Ben.
here. Hey, so we were at the game the other day, and one thing I noticed was it seemed like the defense was a little disorganized compared to normal. Do you know if there's a reason for that, or it seemed like they were just always playing from their heels?
Okay, appreciate it.
I agree with that. I feel like we were catching a lot, and I feel like the Herndon injury kind of set us back a little bit too.
Yeah.
You know, when you got a guy who's getting all the reps all week.
Yep.
And he's your starting nickel.
Gets hurt on a blitz.
Yeah.
I mean, he got knocked, out. I mean, I told you.
He got caught up in the wash, man.
It's about like Friday knockdown.
It happens.
Yes.
kind of like
Let's
Friday.
leave it there. All right.
and maybe listen, and you're right there because who comes in? Gregory, right? So maybe you're not as comfortable sending him on that nickel.
Exactly. So
nickel
now you take
blitz,
that package out, because that was probably one of their special packages for the week. And you don't feel comfortable with him.
But on their heels, when I hear on their heels, because look, up front you should know what the heck's going on. Like every play, like what there's no new. Maybe you inserted a new defensive front. Maybe there's a new call that you got to remember. But for the most part, you know what you're doing in the front seven, right? The back end is where it can get a little confusing, and linebackers are part of that, right? And so safeties and all that. But up front, man, if you're on your heels, there's something else going on than you not being prepared.
Can't play football on ice skates.
That's right. You can't be timid. And not that they're timid. I don't know what it is, Tone. It's like
they got moved.
Well,
the interior of the defensive line just got moved.
Go back to
around.
San Fran, though. Go back to Houston the first time around. Go back to last year when teams just started pounding the rock on them. They couldn't stop. It's I don't know what it is, but I know what the blueprint is. If I'm a head coach, I'm in front of if I'm Cleveland. if I'm Stefanski, I'm up in front of my team the night before saying, you know how we beat this team? We smack them in the mouth, and they won't respond because that's what the losses have shown. No, not every game has shown that, but the losses have shown that. So that's my blueprint, how I would attack.
Well, you're getting your defensive line pushed around, which is opening up a run game that hasn't been healthy all year for the Bengals. You combine that with, Herndon goes out, so maybe you are taking a package or two out. That's the guy that you wanted to get some pressure with him maybe in the game. But then the communication issues become an issue on the back end to some degree in that game. And when you're not stopping the run and you're not getting it communicated on the back end,
good point.
You're going to give up 34.
Aaron,
really good point.
Your former teammate Bucky Brooks, right, he was the sideline analyst for the Jags, and he was saying after the game he thought that they kind of got in no man's land where they came out and at a certain point, especially when they hit the big play to Jamar Chase, they realized we can't match up with these guys in man, right? And so that he felt like they went pure zone after that, and that really hurt them against the run. What would you do in that situation where you've got one ultra elite and two really good receivers? With this defense, with the personnel you have right now, what's the best way to play it defensively?
Something like that, if you're going to play man, you probably put Campbell on someone else besides Chase.
And double Chase.
And then you double Chase with your other corner because now you got your number one guy you hope he's going to take out the other guy, the other receiver.
Number two.
And now we can focus on – we can have two sets of eyes on number one.
And credit Cincinnati. I mean, that was a halftime adjustment to go deep to Chase, right? I mean, they're like, hey, we've been dinking and dunking. Let's see what we can do when he's one-on-one.
You got to take shots.
Yeah, and they did. And what I mean?
Saw one-on-one coverage on the outside. I mean, Campbell
he knew
also
where to go right away.
T. Higgins in overtime.
I know.
On that 3rd and 10, and he slipped. And, I mean, that you make that play right there, and at worst, you're probably getting a tie in the football game because they're going to punt it away to you. The time's running down. What's your thoughts? I mean, Darius Williams has had – particularly early in the season, getting his hands on the football a lot. Tyson Campbell is a guy that we have very high hopes for to hit a very high ceiling. What do you see from those guys, just from an evaluation standpoint as a former NFL corner?
The Campbell thing is tough because, the hamstring injury, I mean, you don't know how long that's going to last. His confidence is probably not there to run like he needs to.
But just in general, like when you see him as a player and the talent he brings to the table, how good do you think he is capable of being? Can he be a top 10 corner in the National Football League? Is he a top 30? Could he be a top 5? Like, where do you see him ultimately falling when he puts it all together?
I feel like he can be a top 10 corner. It's just one of those things where you got to make plays as well. When you see a guy like Sauce Gardner, he's made some big plays already.
Yep.
And that's the one thing, like, our stat line is how many interceptions are you making, how many pass breakups are you making, how many third down pass breakups, and, how many times am I getting the ball back to our offense. That's my main focus. I was at practice every day. I want to try to get some kind of turnover.
Right.
And it kind of carries over. And I feel like, early we were doing that, and now we're more like just sitting back and just accepting what they give us.
Yeah, but I think a lot of that's just the lack of pressure. You take they have 26 sacks so far, the Jags do. Half for Josh's, if not a little bit more. He's got 13 and a half. The Browns, same with their guy, Myles Garrett. He's got 13, but they have 34. So they got 8 more sacks for the rest of the line. You know what I mean? So, like, where's that pressure? That even with Sauce, they got a great front up in the Jets. He's phenomenal, don't get me wrong. But even without, if they didn't have that kind of pressure, especially from the inside, he would still be great, but it helps a lot. So I think it does go. Like, Darius Williams was having a phenomenal Pro Bowl year, wasn't he? And then last Sunday, you're like,
All-Pro year.
Yeah.
Really, the first 6-8 games,
fair
whatever.
enough. But that, I think, came with pressure and consistent pressure. And maybe it wasn't sacks, but it was still rattling that QB, and getting after him that kind of way. So,
All right, let's get one more in here while we got Aaron Beasley. Mike in Jacksonville Beach next up on Jaguars Today. Good morning, Mike.
Hey, good morning, guys. First off, this is by far, this is premium radio with this crew you got on today. This is awesome. Thanks for doing this.
Appreciate it.
Hey, so I was at the game this weekend. I was fortunate enough to have tickets sitting really close to the 50, down there like 20 rows up. So I kind of had a very intimate sort of sight of what was going on the sideline and everything. When Trevor went out, and I don't know what was going on when he went back in the back and all that stuff, but when Trevor went out, to me, the whole stadium, we all saw it. Everybody was like, "Oh, the gas!" And then the level was not nearly, the energy level wasn't up there as high. To me, it was a missed opportunity. Unless Trevor was being carted out in an ambulance, he should have come out, whether he's in a cart or not. When we failed on offense, if he had come out when they went on offense, when they got down there and got the field goal, I felt like that would have been a huge lift, and maybe it would have made a difference. Obviously, you've got the guys on the radio right now with you that can maybe offer perspective. How much of a lift would that have been for the players? I know the crowd would have gone nuts, though. You would have had at least the noise level would have gone up.
All right.
Bees, you want to hit that one first?
Dramatic
You want me to?
re-entrance by Trevor.
I think it would have been like on the defense. I just think I got to step my game up. Like, I'm not thinking thinking about what's happening on offense.
I mean, look, that for the crowd, sure.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, the crowd
But I
would
guess
love that.
He's saying,
but
would
for
that
the team,
do
no.
something for you if the crowd has that moment?
First of all, if there's no holding, Bethard makes a great throw.
He
You know what I
does.
mean? Like
Exactly.
we're like, all right,
No,
we're
you're
fine.
right. Exactly. Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And play, and what's the narrative today? You let Trevor walk down that hole and then back down the hole?
No, right.
I mean, he's not.
Right.
They're not going to do that.
Right. Well, maybe on the way out they give him a cart. I don't know.
We've already seen it
Motorized
once this
wheelchair.
year, right? Like earlier in the year, he had the ankle injury. Yeah. You're coming up on a short week going to New Orleans, and you saw it on the field with the team.
Yeah.
Our guy's back out here, right? Our guy's back out. He's playing tonight, and he's got that look, right? Like players react to that, right, when they're in the game. And I think there's the potential for that on Sunday. Our guy has a high ankle sprain. We all feel like right now in the city, it feels like Trevor's going to play on Sunday against Cleveland. I think that has the opportunity to lift up the team
Fight
a little bit
harder.
for the game in
I agree
Cleveland.
with
The
that.
offensive line certainly had their best game of the year against the New Orleans Saints.
That's true.
They need it again. Myles Garrett and that Cleveland front, they need that again this week for the second time this year. Trevor's on the field for us.
Yeah, I just during the game though, I think as players you're just like, hey man, it sucks. He's hurt. I feel awful.
Still
But
gotta
we
do my
got
job.
we got a game to win, and they feel comfortable with CJ. I mean, he's not Trevor, and we all understand that, but he's capable of making the throws. He's capable of running Doug Peterson's offense, and he made a nice throw down the field. So look, I mean, if he's the guy or if Trevor's the guy, obviously we want Trev, and it gives a better chance to win. But you got to win this game. I mean, this is a playoff game. I mean, you got other teams nipping at your heels, man. In the division, you better stay in front, and you got to go up there and find a way to win this game. It's going to be an ugly game, but get back to some defense. Smash mouth. Let's go. Smack him in the mouth and show him what you're made of.
I got two quick ones for Aaron. We'll let him get out of here and let him go, work on his handicap. A, do you think Trevor Lawrence plays this week?
I think he's playing.
I think that's what the feeling is, right?
He's not a guy that's going to sit out, man. He's a warrior.
Hey, Mahomes did it in a halftime. I think Trevor's doing it.
Look, Trevor did it in the span of about 2 plays when he's done it multiple times when it's looked like all right, so we're assuming Trevor plays maybe less than 100%. All the circumstances. What's your prediction for Sunday?
I got it 17-13 Jags.
That's exactly. He stole my score. I should have marked it down first. I have a Trevor score and a non-Trevor score, but I feel that much smarter because Aaron Beasley is backing my play without even knowing it. So I'm going to back his play a little bit later on.
We got to get a turnover though. We got to do something.
We need about 3 of them.
Yeah,
all right. That would be good. Maybe a defensive score or 2 wouldn't hurt my feelings.
That's
man.
right.
All right. Hey, give Killa Bees a follow on social media if you don't already at Killa Bees 21, and welcome him back to Jacksonville and let him know how happy you are that he's part of the community and always going to be part of the fabric of Jacksonville from his days here, but reintegrated back into the Jacksonville.
Yeah, man.
Duval
like
society.
old days. Like the old days.
Killa Bees, good to see you. Don't be a stranger, all right?
I won't.
You don't have to wait for
Tom
Tommy.
got my number.
Oh, yeah.
You guys got my number.
We do. Come in anytime. You know that you got the address, so you I'll
be out there every morning messing
There are a
around.
few of your former teammates who do that, so and we love it, by the way. And they do. Hey, I'm
outside.
I'm like 5 minutes. I'm at the light. Hey, you got time for me? Yeah.
It's like your
come on
neighbor
by.
growing up who had the pool. You tried to get him them to invite you to go swimming all the time.
Oh, what a nice pool you had. Yeah. Hey,
I bet that pool's
what a nice
cold and
radio
nice right
station
now.
you guys have right there. Aaron, great to see you, man.
Thanks
Everybody,
for having me,
Jacksonville
guys.
loves Aaron Beasley, and good to have you back as a fixture on the First Coast. All right, we'll come back more with Tommy Mack, and we'll go until noon, as, of course, we always do, looking for your 3 keys to victory for the Jacksonville Jaguars versus the Cleveland Browns. Today, this is Jaguars Today on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
Jaguars Today Friday
Is brought to you by
CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living from the JOI Studios at 1010XL, where the pros go. Scoring points is so important, someone has to be singled out as the Universal Roof and Contracting Offensive Player of the Game.
That's what you want from a leader.
On 1010XL, Universal Roof and Contracting. Experience the universal difference.
Here's Linda Beaver.
Have you heard? Beaver Toyota and Beaver Chevrolet are attempting to sell 2,000 vehicles this December. How? I've instructed my team to take all reasonable offers. We won't lose your business over price. We have thousands of cars, trucks, and SUVs on the ground and priced to sell. We guarantee the most money for your trade and the easiest car buying experience ever. I promise we ain't leaving nothing on the table. At Beaver Toyota in St. Augustine or Beaver Chevrolet in Jacksonville, we're here to wow you.
More than qualified to handle your roof. Call J&M and we'll show you the proof. Check with our customers and they all say only one way to go, the J&M way.
We take pride in doing quality work at a fair price. And you can finance your new roof for as low as $139 per month. J&M Roofing, under the umbrella. Call 904-337-0509.
License number CCC 1331951.
Hey folks, if you want to add value to your home without breaking the piggy bank, Shark Coatings offers multiple finance options to meet your budget. Like a smaller garage for as low as $45 per month, or a standard 2-car garage around $58 a month. And a 4-car driveway with a walkway is only $82 a month. Of course, each property is unique and our design consultants can give you exact pricing for your project. But here's a way to only spend a little each month for the Shark Coatings your concrete floors need now. Shark Coatings, we're ready when you are.
Want to be up close and personal with the Jaguars as they take the field? Here's your chance to be in the shadows, outside the Jaguars locker room, now called the Vault. Enter today at jaguars.com/shadows. One winner a guest for every home game at Everbank Stadium. No purchase to enter or win, must be 18 or older and a legal resident of Florida or Georgia. Promotion period 9/5/23 through 12/15/23. For official rules and complete details, visit jaguars.com/shadows. Sponsored by Jacksonville Jaguars, LLC.
Get closer to nature.
I'm Jeff Logner with Captain Kevin and Captain Kirk. We take you from the water to the woods.
The Nimnicht Outdoor Show, presented by Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing and Septic Services, 7 to 10 every Saturday morning on 1010XL.
All year long you'll be singing our song. Stay cooler with Bueller. At the head of our class we make it happen fast. Stay cooler with Bueller. For heating and air, we always play fair. We make the difference because we really care. Bueller Air. Stay cooler with Bueller.
Jacksonville is a great place to live. And if you love where you live, you should invest in it. That's why more and more people bank with One-to-One Financial, Jacksonville's hometown credit union. We invest every penny back into North Florida, backing the very best small businesses, nonprofits, and of course the family home. Why put your money with some big out-of-state bank when you can invest in where you love to live? One-to-One Financial, we're your hometown credit union. Sign up today at one-to-one-fcu.org. Federally insured by NCUA.
It's Beard's Diamonds' incredible Christmas sale.
If you're popping the question soon, celebrating an anniversary, or shopping for the holidays, you do not want to miss this once-in-a-lifetime sale.
But hurry, it ends Christmas Eve.
At the St. John's Town Center or at beardsdiamonds.com.
This is Keith Catlin for Catlin Truck Accessories, and we are so blessed to be in business for over 100 years. Over 100 years of the best product and customer service means you can count on Catlin. From Roll-and Lock bed covers to Lear toppers, the Cam Locker toolboxes, Catlin Truck Accessories has you covered when it comes to your truck or van. We do those too. Got a fleet of vehicles? We can outfit them all.
Who can you count on? Count on Cat.
investment.
One name, one location, 100 years. You can count on Catlin.
Hey gang, Prosser here. Are you trying to sell your home here around the holidays and you think you may have problems? Can I just send you forward, spoiler alert? Call Chad and Sandy today or go to chadandsandy.com, 904-414-6200. Why do I skip ahead? Because any problem you think you have, they have the promise and a solution. It's pretty simple. Doesn't this about cover it for you? They will sell your home, Chad and Sandy, at a price that you agree upon, or they will buy it. That's right. Chad and Sandy guarantee your home sold at an agreed upon price and deadline, or they will buy it. Perhaps you're worried about settling for less money with a lowball instant offer. Well, that promise takes care of that, doesn't it? Just listen to Tanya from Magnolia Glen. I had moved out of state to South Carolina. I was desperate. Not one, but two realtors failed to sell my home in 160 days. Chad and Sandy sold it in 5 days. Go to chadandsandy.com or call 904-414-6200. That's Chad, ANDSANDY.com.
Love seafood and football? Sliders Oyster Bar in Neptune Beach should be your first choice when craving the freshest seafood in the 904. Come watch the Jags and enjoy a cocktail on the newly renovated patio. So when you're out at the beach, stop into the beach's best oyster bar for the last 40 years. Open 7 days a week for lunch and dinner. Fully renovated with more seating to serve the freshest seafood around. Sliders Oyster Bar in Neptune Beach, locally owned by Safe Harbor Seafood.
Need protection? Call Craig and Christine Kaprosky at Goosehead Insurance. The Kaproskys are a husband-wife team committed to finding you the right coverage at the right price in just a few short minutes. For home, auto, flood, or specialty insurance, Craig and Christine Kaprosky are the answer. Craig.Kaprosky at Goosehead.com.
This is Dr. Kevin Kaplan, head team physician for your Jacksonville Jaguars. Here's the latest update on the Jags, brought to you by Baptist Health and JOI.
Jags defensive end Josh Allen is having a historical year, tied third in the NFL for sacks. With 5 games left to be played, defensive coordinator Mike Caldwell credits Allen's offseason work to his high performance of the year.
He really has. He's playing at a high level. And you look at the work he put in this offseason and just going back and the focus, the way he's focused, he's going in, coming in, understanding the game plan, understanding the rush plan, and he's going out there and he's performing. Last year, we had an issue with missed sacks, not getting the guy on the ground. He's getting the guy on the ground, and his numbers are what they are.
Mike Caldwell, visit Jaguars.com for more. I'm Molly McDonald with your Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute Jaguars Update.
XL is presented by Farrah & Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Tom McManus. Brought to you by Renewal by Anderson. A better way to a better window on 1010XL.
All right, that was fun having Aaron Beasley stop by.
Yeah.
I know you've been doing a lot of stuff with him.
Yeah, it's great having him back, man. It's great having him back.
It's, the band's kind of...
Band's getting back together.
A lot. Hey, T-Brack. Nah.
He likes the ranch.
He ain't going to bring the ranch and the
There's no ranch around here for him to...
It's all right. Makes it more special when he visits.
Yeah, no doubt.
So,
yeah,
there
absolutely.
You go. All right, Tommy, let's dig into it, man. I know you've been thinking about it and talking about it all week.
Yeah.
But what was the most disappointing aspect for you on Monday?
That our defense just didn't really show up. I mean, it was, Josh Allen did. He had a great game, and I know other guys made some plays here and there, but very disappointing. National stage, it's time for you to shine. You didn't do well against KC. The last time it was a national-type game, maybe not on Monday night. But
San Fran was a litmus test game.
San Fran, you thought that, Cincinnati, these teams that show up, especially ones with winning records, they've got good players. You may not know who they are, like their offensive line or their defensive line, but these guys, they're in the NFL. And they can play ball, and they're going to come with an attitude. And if you don't come and match that or have even a more physical, violent attitude against them, they're going to win.
No,
look, going to win that battle.
If Joe Burrow is healthy, everybody, there are a lot of people that picked Cincinnati to go to the Super Bowl this year.
Absolutely.
The rest of that roster. But the feeling was, you got an offense that was so inept against this Pittsburgh team that has just not lost 2 consecutive weeks to 2-10 teams.
Yep.
How did Cincinnati lose to that's the NFL, though. Like, every week.
Didn't Cleveland beat KC? Or San Fran. Cleveland beat San Fran, didn't
they beat San Fran.
They had their guys missing. But
they had P.J. Walker at quarterback.
Right, that's right.
The Browns did.
That's right.
And they beat them 19-17.
Yeah.
So they're certainly capable.
So the biggest disappointment was just, hey, we're on national TV again, a huge stage, and your offense did plenty to win. You know, you score 31 points, you should be winning. And the defense, man, just a big letdown. And not like they've been playing, right? You know, you see those gashes right up the middle. You're like, guys, what's going on here? You know, and you're right. It's harder to play, especially in nickel when you play zone. It's hard because it's basically a hat on a hat for the most part. You know, you don't put that extra guy down there. So it can be very challenging, but that was the biggest one. Look, I thought before his injury, Trevor's throwing dimes. I mean, he was maybe his best throwing expedition. I don't know if ever in a Jaguar uniform, but it was pretty up there, man. He was
he's on
putting it in there,
pretty good
man.
3-week run.
Yeah, but it seemed like last Sunday he really came on with some phenomenal placement of throws.
Well, you know, Trevor, as we talked about early in the week, Tommy, it felt like he was on his way. I felt confident they were going to score again. Like at some point in that game, they were going to score again.
Yep.
And it was likely going to be Trevor. That would have been his 4th touchdown accounted for in that game on Monday night, that he would be in the conversation as the offensive player of the week in the league again for the 3rd week in a row. Like that's the kind of run Trevor Lawrence has been on, right? And then the injury happens. And all these other things come into play. I know we've talked about Devon Hamilton and getting him back on the field. When's that guy going to be healthy and ready to go? We're hearing that he's healthy.
Yeah.
That the issue right now isn't his physical health. Whatever is getting in the way of him playing at the level that he needs to play at, about at halftime of that game on Monday night, in my mind, I was like, I don't know if I'd get him another rep. Like, that's how bad it felt to me in the first half, watching the way they were moving Hamilton around. But then Foley's got the ankle, right? Like, you have guys that are down that would participate in it. Their run defense was the thing Monday night to me against Cincinnati. It's that they did that poorly against the run, against a team that doesn't run the ball. That was why you're giving up 34 points.
Well, and the fact that it opened up the play-action pass. You got
100%.
no pressure on Browning. It just worked perfectly in their favor, and it's basically their O-line just taking it to you. I mean, our guy, look, I mean, you're going to get blocked. I'm not saying you don't get blocked. You don't make every damn tackle.
Sure.
I understand that, but you could see the lack of physicality. You don't move Devon Hamilton. You know, you don't move Foley. You don't move these guys. They should be pretty stout. You know, granted, you get a double team and they get under your pads, you might be going for a ride. I get that can happen. But overall, that was not the defense that we expected on Sunday night. And they got to get it back. They got to get back to punching people in the mouth, stopping the run like they were. At one time,
the next 2 games, that's what they're going to try to shove it down your throat.
Without a doubt.
And if you can't stop it, they'll keep doing it all game.
That's December football, isn't it?
Especially in that division.
Everyone talks about throwing and whipping, and that's very important. But you know what? You know what separates teams in the playoffs and in December? Stopping the run and running the football, because that helps everything else.
All right, let's say Trevor is kind of medically cleared. Like, you know, all right, you know, he's not 100%, but he could play, okay? And then, you know, obviously he wants to play. Do you, as a coaching staff, have any qualms about putting him out there if the field conditions aren't good, if, like, you know, everything all rolled in? You know, look, even if you lose this week and Houston and Indy both win, you're still in first place by virtue of the tiebreakers. So you can't fall out of first. Does any of that influence it, or if he is, you know, given the green light by the medical staff, he's out there?
I think you have to now. You could use your gut too at the same time, but you have to believe your medical staff. Kevin Kaplan is a well-renowned orthopedic guy throughout the country. If he says, "I've run all the tests, he passed everything, I'm medically clearing him," that for me would be enough. Now your gut may come in. All right, the weather, the field, maybe not, but then I go to Trevor. And I say, all right, you're medically cleared. What do you think? You feeling like you can run can you run the offense fully? Do we have to do this? Do we have to do that? And, you know, Trevor's going to want to play. He's a tough dude.
Mm-hmm.
Then I'm letting him play. I'm letting him play if that's what it all comes out. If my medical staff says he can play, that gives me almost 100%, you know, assurance that he can play. Then my gut comes into it. Then my talking to him comes into it. Then I make my final decision. But if all those are positive, I'm letting him play.
All right, how do you take pressure off Trevor Lawrence a little bit, right? Because they do have a good pass rush, particularly Myles Garrett, right? And he can ruin your day. But the Jags, although Etienne went over 4 yards a carry this week, it was barely over for the most part for the last 2 months. He's been living in the high threes, right? And let's say it's one of those days again, and you're getting 3.6 yards a pop, and they're not respecting your running game. What can you do game plan wise to take some pressure off a quarterback who may not be 100%?
Well, I think Luke Farrell's going to have a role in this because they're going to need him. They're going to need him to be like the old Mercedes Lewis.
To help with Blake Hance?
Yeah, you got it. I mean, you got to help your tackles out. I'm sorry. If you got to max protect on occasion, you won't want to do that all the time, but just to keep the pressure off for sure. But I'm also, if I'm Phil Rosher, I'm calling my O-line out. Like, guys, come on. We look. I know we're a zone blocking team, but we still got to be physical. We still got to get off the ball and be violent. And I'm looking at my leaders on that O-line. They missed Cam's fire. Like Cam will give you the fire, right? If that should be contagious. And when he's not out there, who's next? I look at our right guard, Brandon Sheriff. I would say to him, if I'm Phil Raw, hey Brandon, I know you're probably banged up. I'm sure he's banged up. He's played a long time. He's played a lot of games. It's late in the year. Everybody's banged up, but, man, I need you. I need you to show this O-line. It's a young O-line overall. I need you to lead this charge, and we're going to get after these guys all game long. No matter what the score is, no matter what's going on, we are going to out-physical their front. And you got to it's a mindset, and you got to have that. If they do that, they got a shot.
How much do they miss Christian Kirk?
I kind of like Parker. It sounds like on that play Trev got hurt. He might have been off the page there a little bit, but I think Parker's okay. I hope Zay's healthy. I want Ridley and Zay healthy. I love Kirk, and I want him in my lineup. Don't get me wrong, but I think it's shown when Zay's out, your passing offense changes a little bit. So if I had to choose, I'd rather have Zay, but I think Parker can do a pretty good job. He should second time getting some playing time. He should feel more comfortable and helping out, filling that role.
It does feel a lot of the complaints about the offense in the early part of the season, especially, Tommy, were everything's too quick, right? They're not trying to get it downfield, and the downfield has become such a big part of what they've done here in the last month in the offense. It does feel like this week, given Trevor is, if he plays, going to be playing on that high ankle sprain, that you're going to be playing without Christian Kirk, that you're playing without Brenton Strange, which, speaking to how important Luke Farrell is, that Brenton Strange playing or not playing is a big deal for them.
Agreed.
Particularly in this game. Walker Little doesn't look like he's going to be able to give it a go. It feels like you're going to see that offense that people complained about early in the season get it out of his hands. Quick, tempo.
Yeah.
That's what this week feels like it's going to need to be for this team to have a chance to be successful on offense and protect their quarterback from having to stand back in the pocket because he may not be able to protect himself running as much as he typically could.
Yeah, well, we've seen that in the past, right? That's how we get back on track. First read throws, quick throws, try to set up some shallow crossers, with pick routes and whatnot. But the problem with that potentially is the Browns know that because that's what we've shown on film, right? So if we do that, they may be ready for it and start sitting on those throws. So I think it's going to be a chess match. But at the end of the day, look, their defense is really good against the pass, like in third down. They're like number one in the league on third down. But they do give up like 4.12 yards a carry. So maybe you can get some movement, running the football. And then maybe that helps take pressure off your QB. Just like what did Cincinnati do to us, right? They stay committed to the run, had some success. Yeah. Next thing you know, it opens up play-action pass. By the way, they dinked and dunked us until when? They went in at halftime. The coach was like, hey, I think we could go deep here.
I think we got them.
Take a shot, right? And they did. And it worked. So, maybe you can get the running game going. But, look, man, at the end of the day, just let's go to a fist fight. It's a rumble. It's time to go up there and fight Cleveland and come home with a win.
Look, I'm sorry for this is on the defense to me. Like you're going to be playing either, Dorian Thompson-Robinson, who's an inexperienced guy, or you're going to be playing Joe Flacco, who's only been playing, back and playing football for a couple weeks here. Yep. Maybe no Amari Cooper, and if you don't have Amari Cooper, their pass catchers on the outside are nowhere near what you just saw from the Cincinnati Bengals, right? So you should be able to commit that extra man to the box and focus on that running game. That has got to be job one this week. We'll hear from both coordinators coming up. We'll hear from Press Taylor and Mike Caldwell as we get into hour number 2 on a Keys to Victory Friday. Send us your 3 keys. What are the 3 things the Jags need to accomplish to get the win against Cleveland this week? Mike Dempsey, Tony Smith, Tom McManus, and Dylan Denmark here with you. Thanks again to Aaron Beasley for stopping by today. You're listening to Jaguars Today on 1010XL and 92.5 FM. Hey, folks, Mike Dempsey here for Awaken 180 weight loss. How about weight loss maintenance? That's kind of the phase I've been in for the last couple of months, and it has worked spectacularly. Lost over 25 pounds in the month of September, hit my goal weight, and haven't put it back on, and that's always been the challenge for me. But Awaken 180 promised me, look, first of all, you're going to lose 4 to 5 pounds a week. You're going to do it by eating more and just turning your body into a fat-burning machine. That's exactly what happened, but boy, maintenance has been a breeze as well. They've got great plans. They'll tailor it to fit your lifestyle. You get free coaching and support for life once you hit your goal weight with Awaken 180. So what are you waiting for? Get started today by picking up the phone and calling 844-346-1800. Whether you have 10, 15, 50, 100 pounds to lose, it doesn't matter. You'll find success with Awaken 180. Again, 844-346-1800, 844-346-1800, or go online to awaken180weightloss.com.
Jaguars Today Friday
is brought to you by
CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living from the JOI Studios at 1010XL, where the pros go. He's no Johnny-come-lately. He's been the Jags senior writer for a long time.
When it comes to the Jags, oh noes.
Wednesdays from 10 to noon on Jaguars Today. Brought to you by Kingfish Pest Control, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Looking for quality equipment and a name you can trust? Lepo Rents, Bobcat of Jacksonville is your premier construction equipment dealer and rental house. We have the right equipment for the job, offering the big and small tools needed for your next project. Lepo sells and rents track loaders, excavators, boom lifts, and much more. For your next project, remember Lepo Rents, your authorized Bobcat dealer in Jacksonville. Visit them online at leporents.com.
No dental insurance? No problem. Introducing the Care Plus program from the dental offices of Dr. James McCall. For only $625 per year, you will receive 2 cleanings and dental exams, a full set of x-rays, plus 1 emergency dental exam and x-ray. You'll also receive a 20% discount on all other services offered. Kids 12 and under will receive the same program for only $525. Call Dr. McCall today at 620-9225.
Turnpike Troubadours are coming to Jacksonville. Saturday, April 6th at Daly's Place. I always kept the best for you. Turnpike Troubadours with L. King and Colby A. Cup. That mean old sun better rise up soon if it's ever gonna set on me. Turnpike Troubadours tickets are available at Ticketmaster.com. I'll warn you about Turnpike Troubadours with L. King and Colby A. Cuff. Saturday, April 6th at Daly's Place. Produced by Mammoth.
WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Having hot water in your home is important for washing dishes, yourself, etc. But if your water isn't consistently nice and hot, it may become more of an issue when your family's over for the holidays.
There's no hot water!
Fix water heater problems with a call to Duck Duck Rooter today. Duck Duck Rooter will come and resolve it so you can enjoy lots of hot water this holiday season. Call 904-862-6769. Visit duckduckrooter.com.
This is Hayes Carline for Island Wing Company, located on South Side near Tinseltown, and our new location at Bartram Park in St. Johns County. 2 great locations offering the ultimate sports bar experience where you can stick to healthy options. Island Wing Company has a wide selection of fryer-free food. The wings are baked, not fried, with so many awesome flavors to choose from. You can also get delicious salmon, tuna, flatbreads, and tacos. With tons of spectacular TVs, dog-friendly patios, and 2 daily happy hours, Island Wings can't be beat.
Atlantic Self Storage, the official storage partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Need to make room to watch football in your home, or need a place to park your boat or RV? Store it all at Atlantic Self Storage. Over 50 locations in Northeast Florida. 24-hour access, all with month-to-month leases. Moving? They can help with supplies. They make storage easy. Go to AtlanticSelfStorage.com or call 877-WE-STORE to find a storage solution near you. Go Jags!
Hard Rock Bet presents Legal in Florida.
You can bet the game on Hard Rock Bet. No more betting inside your head. Now Hard Rock Bet is legal in Florida. Now Hard Rock Bet is legal in Florida. Legal in Florida. It's safe, it's legal. We'll repeat that it is legal. Top rated sportsbook and it's the only one that's legal.
Get a no-regret first bet up to $100 when you sign up now. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 and over and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about gambling? Please call 1-888-ADMIT-IT.
I'm here with Clayton Bromberg, president of Underwoods. Clayton, I've seen pearls advertised from under $100 well into the thousands of dollars. Help me understand that.
David, let me explain. First of all, there's several types of cultured pearls, and at Underwoods we carry all of them. They're the Chinese freshwater pearls that are grown in mussels, not oysters, and these are the least expensive. There are also Akoya pearls, which are the traditional Japanese cultured pearls that are grown in an oyster. Generally, these are the next most expensive. Then there are the Tahitian gray, black pearls and white South Sea pearls that are grown in larger oysters off the coast of Australia and Tahiti. These are generally the larger pearls and are more expensive than the other pearls. Once we know the type pearl we have, we begin the quality grading part that's essential to pricing. These are things like the pearl size, how round they are, the pearl's body color, its luster, surface blemishes, and how the pearls are matched with each other. This is where we use our expertise to make sure that our customers get the better quality pearls they expect from Underwoods at a fair price.
Looking for the perfect stocking stuffer? How about the Blue Crab Crab House? Right now, buy a $50 gift card, you get $15 free. $50 gives you an additional $15. Also sign up. The private dining room is available for you. Call them 260-CRAB for all the details. Tuesday through Saturday, 4:30 to 9, Sunday noon to 9, only at the Blue Crab Crab House right off of San Jose, Jointon Creek Road.
Here's your 1010XL local sports update, sponsored by General RV. Clemson head coach during his press conference for the Gator Bowl took the time to comment on the major issue with college football at this time.
Portal's not the problem. NIL's not the problem. The problem is tampering. That's the problem. That is the problem in college football, and that could be fixed easily, too, if they would let football people fix it.
The head coach for Kentucky, Mark Stoops, is a Gator Bowl veteran and once again looks forward to his team playing in the game.
Look forward to getting down there and having a very competitive game against a great team and a great program.
FSU men's basketball will tip off against the University of South Florida tomorrow afternoon. In other area collegiate sports, UNF Osprey men's basketball will go against Georgia Southern tomorrow afternoon in the UNF Arena. John Rahm shocked the golf world on Thursday. He announced he would leave the PGA Tour to play in the Live Golf League for a reported $500 million. That's your 1010XL local sports update. I'm Sam Nelson on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
At 11:02, it's 67 degrees. Time and 10 brought to you by Bueller Air Conditioning. Stay cooler, Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Tom McManus.
Brought to you by Renewal by Anderson. A better way to a better window on 1010XL.
All right, Tommy Mack in the house. What are you doing, making your picks over there? No, I'm taking detailed notes on the Jaguars scheme.
I'm ranking them. I already picked them, and now I'm ranking them.
Oh, you're ranking them. Okay. He just
I'm
covered him with his phone right there.
I don't want anyone to see mine
Don't
yet.
sneak a peek over here. I did mine this morning. I got to admit. Usually I do them the night before.
Do you really? Wow, that's prep.
Well, I'm getting ready. I do a show on Thursday night.
Right.
So I'm sitting there and I watch the first half of the game before I don't go on until 10 o'clock. So I'm watching the game. I'm sitting there and starting to get into kick off the week mode at that point in time. So I had the Patriots last night, by the way.
Oh, did you?
Didn't we all?
Number 15 line.
Yeah, I thought Bailey Zappi would throw like 3 touchdowns.
In the first half.
Yeah, something like that.
That's what I thought as well.
Coach Doug Peterson speaking today.
Do tell. Ding, da-da-ding.
Head coach Doug Peterson, this from Michael DeRocco, said that quarterback Trevor Lawrence moved around well Thursday, will base game time decision on medical staff. Lawrence will probably be listed as questionable later today. Also said Brenton Strange, Walker Little likely out. Against Cleveland, Tyson Campbell, a game-time decision.
Oh, boy. Man. Ouch.
I like Tyson, I feel like, again, if they don't have Amari Cooper,
right,
it's fine.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not fine, but they played several games without Tyson.
Yeah.
And they've been able to overcome.
That's his hammy still. It's his hamstring that's
picked up a quad.
Quad. Yeah, right. In overtime, he picked that up. So you got multiple leg issues.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if it was when he slipped. Might have been on the play he slipped, right? And Higgins caught that pass.
Yep.
I'm more worried about Walker Little not playing.
Yeah.
And that's where it looks like it's going. I mean, that sounds to me like Trevor Lawrence I'd put it this way. I'll be surprised if he's not active on Sunday. Look, I don't have anything more than what Tony just read to you. That's just my opinion.
Yeah. Well, I read where Ezra was taking some snaps at left tackle this week, too. I know it looks like Hance is going to be the starter.
That's a possibility. We'll get to that. Let's get to Press Taylor from yesterday, as a matter of fact, talking about how difficult it is, or maybe not, to prepare a game plan when you're not quite sure if your starting quarterback is going to be available.
It's probably a little bit more difficult than a normal week, but at the same time, no. I mean, there's certain elements to it where we have a plan for, this is what we want to be able to run against this defense that puts our guys in the best possible position to succeed. Maybe if this is our quarterback, some of these elements maybe go away or not as emphasized, or some of these elements are more emphasized. But for the most part, I mean, the plan will maintain, the plan will be in place, and then we can adjust based on who the quarterback is, what their strengths are, or how the course of the game's going.
You guys in your era, Tom, had some great backup quarterback performances, right? I mean, Rob Johnson.
Oh, yeah. Steve Matthews.
Jamie
Martin.
Steve Matthews set a franchise record for points that game, and it's since been broken, but it was like 41 against the Giants or whatever it was.
Yeah, the lefty.
But did you have many weeks when you didn't know? Would Brunell be available? Would it be somebody else? Or was it always pretty clear in your recollection that,
you mean like game time, or we already knew?
No, like during the course of the week. Like,
yeah, we knew if Brunell was going to play. Yeah. Yeah, and I think the big difference is, like, look, we power ran and we play action pass. So, you know what I mean? It's not like if you take Trevor and CJ, you're not going to do a lot of misdirection with CJ. You're not going to roll him out, I don't think, as much. He's not going to take off and run as much.
Didn't look fleet of foot on Monday night.
Yeah, Trevor is.
I know.
That's
I agree.
part of it. So that part will change. But look, CJ can make all the throws. He's got to have time, like everybody else, and he's got to have a little bit of an opening to throw the ball. But I think he's very capable of running the offense. But you're just not going to have as much movement out of the QB position.
Doug Peterson already shared this morning that Walker Little, it sounds like he's likely going to be out this week. Press Taylor was asked on Thursday, what if Walker Little can't give it a go?
We will continue to evaluate all our options in terms of putting the best 5 out there. So there's a number of different contingency plans that we could possibly get into based on what gives us the best possibility to go play well.
And as we were just alluding to, one of those contingencies could be Ezra Cleveland. What about him as left tackle?
That could be one of our options. There's a number of things we could potentially do that our ultimate goal is put the combination of 5 out there that gives us the best chance to play well.
Yeah.
Ezra Cleveland saves the season.
I actually feel like maybe Hance should play guard and he should play tackle. He's a very athletic guy, as we've seen him run down the field. I like his temperament too. He seems to get after it, but we'll see. I mean, you got Cam out, you got Walker out. This is part of the deal, unfortunately. But it's next man up, and how do you help them? Quick throws, maybe chip, have a tight end. Those kind of things can help out. That's going to be part of the contingency, I would imagine.
And on the outside, Christian Kirk's certainly going to be out this week as well. And for a while, we'll see if they get him back this season. And Press Taylor was asked about what they miss on offense with Kirk being out.
I think there's a certain trust that he has from the quarterbacks, all the quarterbacks. I mean, obviously he and Trevor have the most time on task together. Christian has a certain skill set that we feel like we've really identified, honed in on, things he does well, but things the quarterbacks can trust. So there's just that certain unknown element with throwing other people in these positions to do things that he does really well in our system. We have other guys that have skill sets that we'll do our best to maximize and utilize those guys in certain situations, but it's a big loss for us with a player of Christian's caliber, physically, but also mentally what he can do and the flexibility he has within the game, within the system to be able to move around a little bit.
Just trust him. I mean, Trevor knows. Knows where he's going to be. Most reliable guy he's got.
Totally.
He trusts Zay as well. He should. He's got some rapport with those guys. One more here from Press Taylor, and we'll hit the break. We got our confidence picks. We'll hear from Mike Caldwell as the hour goes on as well. What do you feel about the matchup with Anton Harrison facing the Browns pass rush?
Yeah, I mean, there's no breaks in this league. So we've faced great pass rushers on either side of the line. So I think that helps, that Anton knows he's been through these types of situations, but I think also Myles Garrett is kind of his own beast that presents its own certain set of challenges that we'll continue to deal with and adapt to as an offense.
Yeah, he's a crazy
He's
freak
a monster.
of an athlete. He is.
Well,
and look, Zadarius Smith is not chopped liver
No,
on
not
the
at
other
all.
side. He's not
No.
Myles Garrett, though.
No,
at this
but
stage.
Miles, they'll put you over the center.
They'll
over
move
the
him
guard,
anywhere
everywhere.
to
There's
get
a
the
weakness.
right. So, you talk about Fortner's being stout enough, that'll get tested.
I'd go after him.
I mean,
I would.
Garrett
I'd line
does. They
Miles
use-
right over. I know. I've
they-
seen the crossover.
They basically let him pick his spots at times.
Remember when he did that? That was incredible.
Yeah.
All right.
By the way, Britton
Yes.
Strange probably out, according to Doug Peterson as well. Trey Herndon still in the concussion protocol.
And that doesn't bode well
No.
this late in the way. And very few guys have made it back. And it's a short week on top of it. I think literally like 3 guys that got a concussion the week before played in the next game this
So
year.
it's Gregory's in, right?
Gregory
for
Jr.?
Herndon.
Looks like it.
Yeah.
Greg Jr.?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So hey, man, now it's coach them up.
Again,
Get 'em ready.
this is a team that you feel like that's less of a burden against.
Right.
Cleveland's just not this dynamic 4-deep passing attack.
Right.
Right. But it'll be interesting to see how they defend them if they don't have Maury Cooper, because Elijah Moore likes to run out of the slot a lot.
Right.
Oftentimes your nickel is covering that guy, but who does that leave like Darius Williams on? Who's the threat out there? Donovan Peoples-Jones?
Not outside, right?
No, they don't
Not
really.
Njoku, right? The tight end.
I mean, he's your tight end, yeah. So
out of the backfield.
I think you're going to see a lot of run. You're going to see a lot of middle of the field, intermediate stuff.
I agree.
We'll see if the Jags are up to the task. We'll see if we're up to the task of picking the games correctly. We'll do that next, or at least attempt to do that next, and more from Mike Caldwell, or a little bit from Mike Caldwell coming up before the hour is out on a Keys to Victory Friday. You're listening to Jaguars Today on 1010XL 92.5 FM. Hey, folks, Mike Dempsey for Tire Outlet. If you're tired of overpaying for tires, you obviously have not been going to Tire Outlet. So why don't you cruise on in and get the best selection, best quality, and best prices on the tires you need to keep you and your family safe on the road. Tire Outlet has over 40 years of experience, 14 locations around the First Coast, so super convenient, on top of the fact that they've got over 300,000 tires in the local inventory. They're the brand you can trust to perform great service at a great price as well, with expert technicians ready to do the maintenance and repairs to keep your vehicle performing at its best. It's where I take my car. I trust them. You can too. That's Tire Outlet, where you always get wholesale prices and premium service.
Jaguars Today Friday
is brought to you by
CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living from the JOI Studios at 1010XL, where the pros go. The best place for the team doctor.
Now we've got another injury.
Is the sideline. Listen for the personal injury attorneys Farah and Farah Injury Update on 1010XL. Exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Jacksonville.
Did you know the new 2023 Honda Accord Hybrid has an onboard system that charges the battery so you never have to plug it in? When you think Honda, you think quality, value, safety. Now think hybrid. Visit your local Honda dealer and experience the car of tomorrow today.
Come to Monahan Jewelers' 46th annual holiday sale now with up to 30% off on GIA certified diamonds and up to 40% off our entire store. Certified diamonds, gemstones, engagement rings, diamond studs, designer brands. We're not a big box store. We're your local family jeweler with an amazing hand-picked inventory for every budget. And with interest-free financing, enjoy beautiful jewelry with a low monthly payment. Support your local family jeweler this Christmas with up to 40% off our entire inventory. Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach. Open 7 days a week in December.
Certainly facing challenging economic times. I can't speak for all of us, but for me, comforting to know my money is in good hands with ITP Partners. Ticket here for ITP Partners. Jacksonville guys taking care of my Jacksonville money. I'll admit it, I don't understand a ton about the economy. Higher interest rates, 401ks, but I do know as I move closer to retirement, I continue to watch my money grow. Thanks to Chris Bryan, Jeff Hartman, Reagan Wright, Dan Abel, and Reed Wingate. Get in the game, guys. ITP Partners, always there to help. For more info, Chris at ITPPartners.com or call 904-312-9751.
More than qualified to handle your roof. Call J&M and we'll show you the proof. Check with our customers and they all say only one way to go, the J&M way.
We take pride in doing quality work at a fair price. And you can finance your new roof for as low as $139 per month. J&M Roofing, under the umbrella. Call 904-337-0509.
License number CCC 1331951.
W's and L's are what it's all about in football season, and you know you want to be a winner. Well, don't forget about calling Florida Home AC at 777-4300 before all your friends come over and that AC or heating unit conks out. You'll have that L on your forehead, and that sticks. Make sure your AC can handle the heat and invite the gang over for a win. Florida Home AC, the official AC partner of the Jaguars, with prompt and quick service to make sure you stay cool in the heat and warm in the winter.
Happy holidays. If you're stuck for ideas for cool holiday gifts, 1010XL's Holiday Gift Guide is here to help. Get great gift ideas from Small Cakes Jacks, Superior Fireworks, and Brackish Vodka at 1010XL.com.
Daly's Dash is not only your Jaguars game day stop, but a great place to grab a meal any day of the week. To honor the Jags and the fans, we've crafted the Duval Sub. The Duval comes with freshly sliced turkey, ham, melted cheddar, and habanero jack cheese, topped with crisp lettuce, fresh tomatoes, and a double portion of our secret sauce, all served on a fresh roll. Come by your local's Daly's Dash today to get your delicious Duval Sub. Daly's is the official convenience store sponsor of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
1010XL's Friday restaurant of the day is Perfect Rack Billiards in Murray Hill. Open daily at 4. Catch all the NFL weekend action. Always at Perfect Rack Billiards in Murray Hill. A great place to watch football.
Rick Ballou for Carlson Dental. You know, I've been telling you this for quite some time because it's true. I hate going to the dentist, or at least I used to hate going to the dentist. I had total anxiety, and then I tried sedation. Light sedation for cleaning and deep sedation as well for cavities and root canals. Folks, it's an incredible experience. So don't be nervous. Don't be scared. Go to carlsondentalgroup.com. That's carlsondentalgroup.com for all of your dental needs.
When the sun goes down, you might think a golf course shuts down, but not at the Golf Club of Southampton. Join the gang every Thursday night for trivia with Brooke and Jason, and everybody's favorite night, Friday night on the patio, featuring local musicians, food, and drink. It's all at the Golf Club of Southampton. Great golf. You've come to expect that. But don't forget, when night falls, the fun doesn't stop. Trivia every Thursday night and Southampton's live music patio session Fridays. Call 287-PLAY to make a tee time and the good time.
Prosser here, and if you're having trouble selling your home before the end of the year, that's a problem. Well, I have a promise. New for 2023, and it comes from ChadandSandy.com. Your home sold, guaranteed, or they will buy it. Success stories still to come. Maybe you want maximum equity for your home, but not sure how. Well, here's how. Chad and Sandy are the only real estate expert we trust and recommend with the sale of your home. They guarantee your home sold at an agreed-upon price and deadline, or they will buy it. It's as simple as that. Vivian from Cambridge Estate says, I had already moved to Alabama and I needed to sell my Jacksonville home. Easier said than done. My home failed to sell with another realtor for 144 days. I finally got smart and fired my old realtor. I hired Chad and Sandy. What they say is true. My home sold in 4 days above asking price. Don't waste time and money. Hire Chad and Sandy first. How do you do that? Real easy. Call today, 904-414-6200. 904-414-6200. Or go to ChadandSandy.com. ChadandSandy.com.
Time now for a medical recap. A health and wellness tip from Jaguars head team physician, Dr. Kevin Kaplan.
Rotator cuff tears are the most common overhead injuries I see. In order to avoid shoulder issues, make sure not to overload the front of the shoulder while also focusing on developing good scapular strength and maintaining flexibility in your lats. Proper hydration, nutrition, and supplementation are also crucial to joint and muscle health. Go Jag.
XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, the Otterson Wealth Advisors Risk-Reward Picks of the Week. Otterson Wealth Advisors, your goals, our expertise. He's number 55.
Tom McManus.
Brought to you by Renewal by Anderson. A better way to a better window on 1010XL.
All right, here we go. Time for our confidence picks. How confident are we in the predicting the outcomes of the 14 games yet to play? As I mentioned, I had the Patriots last night. Very confident that they'd win that game. I joke. We don't pick the Thursday night game, but we pick everything else. All the games that have yet to kick off. So we got 14 this week. Here's how it went last week. A week after I went 14-2 and remarked, I don't think anybody's had just one loss all year. We should have known going into Monday Night Football. Tony was sitting there at 10-1 into Monday Night Football, and obviously had the Jags.
Yeah.
So we ended up 10 and only 58 points because we all had the Jags on the top line.
Really?
Tony finally buckled and put him on the top line and figured finally did him in, right? Like he knew something. He also missed the Steeler game against Arizona, and that was it. So he had 58 points.
Job, Tone.
I went 8-4, good for 50, 5-0. Tom went 6-6 on the week, and only good for 40 last week. So overall, the points, and again, we have 14 games this week, so the team that we put on the top line will be worth 14 if we get it right, all the way down to 1.
Right.
I've got 943. Tony's got 913. So 30 back, and Tom's at 862. You're in need of like a 12-2 week.
I need a 12.
Right, you need it
I don't
bad.
know if this is going to be it.
You don't think so?
Yeah, you never know.
Confidence, Tom.
Yeah.
All right, so Tony going to bat lead off as we go high to low score from the week before. What are your 3 top picks this week, Tony?
Yeah, on the 14 line, I'll take Miami over Tennessee.
All right, Miami.
13, I'll take San Francisco over Seattle.
All right, San Francisco.
And 12, the Ravens at home over the Rams.
All right, we got 2 of those the same. I got Miami on the 14-point line. I'm going Detroit over Chicago, and I'm going Baltimore as well on the 12-point line over the Rams. Tommy Mack.
I'm going 14. Jags on the road.
Jags on top. All right. Hey, you know what?
They need a win.
That's the way to pick up some
They
points.
need a
good,
win.
man, yeah.
They need a win. All right, so I'm going with that.
Let me ask you this. This will be the formula for you for the rest of the season. Is that correct? Should we start on the second game with you? You just going to put Jags on the top line? We'll see how it goes. Week to week. All right, you got Jags on top. Jags on top.
All
Who's
right.
next?
13. I got Philly on the road.
Okay.
Woo. And 12,
I think he's anticipating us going Dallas. So he's trying to make up some
I've
points
got
here.
San Fran.
San Fran. All right.
Yeah, for 12.
All right, Tony Smith, 11, 10, and 9-point games.
And on the 11 line, Green Bay over the Giants. On the 10 line, New Orleans at home over Carolina. And on the 9-point line, Houston at the Jets.
Hey, Tony's not making up a whole lot of ground this week. I'll just say that because I've got Green Bay on the 11-point line as well. I have San Fran, who Tony had worth 13. I got him worth 10. And Tony had New Orleans worth 10. I've got him worth 9. So pretty similar right there. Tommy, your next 3?
I've got 11, right? Miami.
Yes.
Miami at
okay.
home. 10, I got Houston
Okay.
on the road. And 9, I got Minnesota at Vegas.
All right, Minnesota. We got 8 left. Why don't we do 4 and 4? Give me your next 4, please.
Okay. Detroit over Chicago on the 8 line.
Mm-hmm.
The Chargers over the Broncos at 7. Cincinnati over the Colts at 6. And Atlanta over the Bucks on the 5-point line.
I'm telling you, I don't change mine. I don't alter them. We're very similar here with a few exceptions. I'm taking Dallas worth 8. And then I'm going Houston worth 7. Atlanta worth 6. And I, too, have Cincinnati over Indianapolis. It's kind of more like Indianapolis has won 4 in a row, and they kind of pull it out of their hat every week a little bit, you know? And I just think this might be the week that they're due to take an L. Tommy, your next 4, 8, 7, 6, and 5.
8, Indy on the road.
Okay.
7, Green Bay on the road. 6, New Orleans at home.
Okay, and your 5-pointer as well.
Oh, 5 points. I'm taking the Rams in an upset.
Okay. LA Rams over Baltimore. We'll take that. Certainly would help us.
Oh, yeah.
Last 4 games, Tone.
Kansas City over Buffalo. Jacksonville over Cleveland. Las Vegas over Minnesota. And Philadelphia over Dallas.
Las Vegas and Philadelphia. All right, so you got KC, Jacksonville, Vegas, and Philly,
Yes.
right? Your last. Man, I picked one game twice and left another game off. I did. As I'm going through,
You saw how I struggled.
I circle all the winners, and then I go back and I kind of rank them. All right, so what I ended up with now that I've made the adjustment, I've got Minnesota on the 4-point line. I've got Buffalo over Kansas City on the 3-point line. I'll take Jacksonville on the 2-point line, anticipating Trevor plays. And I'll take the LA Chargers, but not very confident in them getting it done. Your final 4, Tom.
4, I've got, where'd you go, buddy? Oh, I got Tampa on the road.
Oh, Tampa.
It looked like a 1, sorry.
Okay,
Tampa
fine.
on the road.
Okay.
3, I've got Detroit on the road.
Okay.
2, I've got the Chargers at home. And number 1, I got Buffalo beat Kansas City.
Buffalo over Kansas City. All right, here's how it is locked in. The Otterson Wealth Advisors Risk Reward Picks of the Week. Tony Smith goes Miami, San Francisco, Baltimore, Green Bay, New Orleans, Houston, Detroit, LA Chargers, Cincinnati, Atlanta, Kansas City, Jacksonville, Las Vegas, and Philadelphia in that order, most to least confidence. I'm going Dolphins, Lions, Ravens, Packers, 49ers, Saints, Cowboys, Texans. A little bit of a mush pick, by the way. Like, I picked Houston to lose last week. I'm picking them to win this week, and I'll gladly sacrifice the points. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I've got the Falcons, the Bengals, the Vikings, Bills, Jaguars, and Chargers. Tommy going Jacksonville on top. 14-point line. Philly, San Fran, Miami, Houston, Minnesota, Indy, Green Bay, New Orleans, the LA Rams, Tampa Bay, Detroit, LA Chargers, and Buffalo. Confidence picks locked in for week 14. Only 4 weeks to go.
Oh, man.
After this one. So we'll see how that'll play out.
Pressure's coming.
Or not, You know what the stakes
still
are?
a bet. Yeah, gentlemen's.
Pride. Right.
That's
enough.
Gentlemen's bet. Yeah, it's all
That's
we
enough.
need.
Handshake. Right?
Some food.
You want to bet?
No.
What do you want to bet?
You're in the lead.
Nothing. Gentlemen's bet.
Yeah.
All right. Sure. Hey, what do you want to bet? Oh, we could do a.
I should get like a handicap.
Or we could do
something.
like just the last 4 weeks of the season. We could do a little side pot kind of thing.
After this week.
Yeah, the last 4 weeks.
Sidebar. Kind of like the I learned last night how the NBA's playing an in-season tournament. It's kind of weird.
You learned that last night, did you?
I did.
All right.
I didn't know anything
It's been going on
about
for about
it.
a month.
I know.
Yeah.
I don't really
Hey,
watch it.
you don't follow the NBA.
Yeah,
That's fine.
Not really.
And so you're saying that their in-season tournament has not had the desired effect to bring in the casual sports viewer into the NBA circle.
Or was that what it's for?
I don't know. Oh, I mean, it's to do something different.
They're trying to raise up the regular season.
At least people,
somehow.
nobody talks about the NBA until Christmas.
Yeah.
Right.
Right? And
Right,
so at
true.
least there's a little bit of buzz. The fact that you even mentioned the NBA.
Oh,
right?
all right,
I
NBA.
get-
Good for you.
Good for them.
Way to go.
They've got it
It
figured
works.
out, that National Basketball Association. All right, why don't we take a tour around the National Football League?
Now, Gems Around the NFL, brought to you by Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jack's Beach.
Cleveland quarterback Dorian Thompson-Robinson was limited in practice on Thursday and remains in the league's concussion protocol. Wide receiver Amari Cooper did not practice on Thursday due to a concussion and rib injury. Wide receiver Marquise Godwin was limited as he tries to work back from a concussion. Tight end David Njoku did not practice on Thursday and was listed with a rest designation and a knee injury. Baltimore quarterback Lamar Jackson did not practice on Thursday due to an illness. Green Bay running back Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon were both limited on Thursday. Wide receiver Christian Watson did not practice because of a hamstring injury. Kansas City running back Isaiah Pacheco missed practice for the second straight day due to a shoulder injury on Thursday. New York Jets running back Breece Hall also missed practice for a second consecutive day with an ankle injury. New Orleans tight end / quarterback Taysom Hill missed practice for a second consecutive day Thursday with a foot injury and an injury to his left hand. Derek Carr has been limited in practice both days this week after suffering a concussion and rib and shoulder injuries on Sunday. And Miami has signed offensive tackle Austin Jackson to a 3-year, $36 million contract extension with $20.7 million guaranteed and a potential maximum value of $39 million.
All right, thank you, Tony. Appreciate that. We'll do Keys to Victory Roundtable before we get out of here today, and you can continue to submit yours if you like on social media. Let's hear a couple of comments from Mike Caldwell. You know, there's a big discussion, Tom, earlier this week when Doug Peterson talked about the crowd noise impacting their communication on defense, right? Which is generally what you want. Encourage the home crowd to be loud as possible.
I get up and scream on third down.
Doesn't every football home crowd scream on third down when you're on defense or any big defensive series? You're trying to make as much noise as possible, right?
Yeah.
So people have been asking about that. That seemed like an odd comment. Mike Caldwell was asked about that and explained how he felt the crowd noise threw them off a little bit on Monday.
Right. Anytime things don't happen the way you expect them to happen, it throws you off, and that's what happened. We got thrown off by, normally you can hear the call, normally you understand the call. In that situation, guys weren't able to get the call. You could see them trying to get in the huddle tighter, and that's what we have to do, get in the huddle tighter, make sure everybody has the call, get on the same page, and let's go play. But we want the crowd as loud as it can be. That's what you want as the defense. You want to feed off the crowd. They did a great job Monday night, and, we'll hold up our end of the bargain.
And as a follow-up to that, Mike Caldwell also said they have to handle the crowd noise better.
No, it's an advantage. Believe me, you want the crowd as loud as it can be, and it's our job to communicate. We have to get in the huddle, get tighter, make sure we echo the calls and get the call to everybody, and has nothing to do with crowd noise. It's just us. We understand that it should be loud at home. It will be loud at home, and we just have to handle it.
All right, Tom, your thoughts there as a former middle linebacker.
I mean, listen, man, you going against the K-gun, right, which is that hurry-up offense. You had to walk around and make sure everybody knew the call.
Yeah.
If there's no excuse to not – that's ridiculous. The crowd, you keep jamming, man. It's their job to know the call. They have to know the call. Look, you know the call. You get the call. You know what happens when there's motion. You know what happens when there's a shift change. You know what happens when you have to reset and recalculate who you got. It happens every single play for the most part. To sit there and say the crowd noise threw us off, it's just an excuse.
It's weird
just
because
weird.
I mean,
what
the
do you
obvious
mean?
thing
What
is
the
what
hell
he's
are you even
saying.
talking about?
When he says, we want the crowd to be as loud as possible. Yeah, okay, then why are you surprised on Monday Night Football when your crowd is as loud as possible? I don't know. I just think
That's ridiculous.
This is like a no-win avenue for them to have opened up, and
Right.
and I only think it's being continued to be talked about because Doug Peterson opened the door to it the other day, and so you're asking now. All right, defense coordinator, let's follow up on this. So I don't blame anybody for asking about this subject matter, but
there's no excuse. There's no excuse to not know the call, the check to the call, everything about the call. That's your job. Look, crowd noise.
then
no
how does
crowd
that happen? Why is that dysfunctional in Week 13 of an NFL season?
Maybe they're not like when you're assessing whether your team knows all the calls. You're not testing them. I don't know. Give them a written test. Give them something. Make sure everybody knows
that
the
what you
calls.
got? Like, did you guys do that,
Sometimes
or-
you had to do that. Yeah, you'd have to. You got to know the calls. I called when I was starting, I would call. So you got to know them.
Go be the mic.
You got to know everything. Go be the mic. But you got to know the front and the back. There's no, you know what I mean? Like there would be no. I could.
You have to know everybody's
Coach, I didn't hear the call.
responsibility.
What? That's your excuse?
So
I
what do
didn't
you-
hear the call?
In those situations.
The dog ate my homework, Tommy.
Yeah, the dog ate. No, it's my bad. We already know it's your bad. You missed your play. Like, what are you talking about?
Okay, so in that situation, what do you do? You go to hand signals? You do
Yeah.
right.
If that's what you have to do, what do they do on offense when there's noise? They go silent count. They go hand signals. They go all different types of stuff. It's the same for the defense.
So, but is this something that the defense? Like, I don't understand how you come unprepared. Like, I understand, like, the offense goes, we're going to be in a hostile environment. Let's rep a silent count. Let's create a lot of crowd noise. That's what you do. I've never heard of anybody creating that noise at practice for the defense to have to deal with.
Maybe this is a way to, like, protect the player that didn't know the call. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, think about it. Like, a player comes up, what happened to you? Why were you in position? Oh, I didn't hear the call. You know? That's like the first I didn't hear it. You know, it wasn't me. I didn't hear the call. Like, what kind of crap is that?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's like, there's no excuse for not knowing the call or hearing the call or understanding the call. And if you don't know the call or understand it, then you shouldn't be out there trying to perform. If you don't know the call, it makes no sense.
All right, a couple more from Mike Caldwell on the other side. As
Friday.
McManus is.
I just hate excuses.
Usually in a good mood.
I mean, come on. Like, that's an excuse. That's like weak. I don't like that at all. Get
all
that
right.
out of it.
Keys to victory coming up next. You're listening to Jaguars Today. Keep it right here on 1010XL 92.5 FM. Hey, folks, Mike Dempsey here for Dandy Foods. Dandy Sandwiches, subs for over 65 years, a Jacksonville staple. Look, Duval spread out far and wide, and we know it extends beyond the actual borders of Duval, but if you are in Duval County proper, it takes a while to get anywhere. So if you're out there on the road, getting that little grumble in your belly, swing into a gate station, you can fill up the tank, but fill up your belly as well with some fine selections, quality food from Dandy Sandwiches and Dandy Subs, the Anytime Deli label. That's also under the Dandy brand as well. You're going to get highly high-quality, delicious food made with the best ingredients, great variety, always fresh. They deliver practically daily around the First Coast, and the prices that always put a smile on your face, and it's going to be something for everybody there. Any time of day, super quick, super convenient, easy, and on the go. You're not going to do any better. Dandy Foods, the name to know in Duval. When you're hungry, do what I do. Go out and make yours a Dandy. And do it today.
Jaguars Today Friday
is brought to you by
CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living from the JOI Studios at 1010XL, where the pros go.
Travis Etienne scores in Jacksonville. Strikes first. Trevor dives into the end zone. He stuck the ball over the goal line. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Josh Allen. Has he done enough this year yet? Wow. How good is that?
Got about a month of football left, and it's full steam ahead.
It's a quick turnaround.
It's really must-win mentality all the time. So, good Cleveland team we're about to go face. We got to right our wrongs, get back in the win column.
Next up, Cleveland, Sunday at 1 on the home of the Jaguars, 1010XL.
This holiday season, meet the Snow Queen in person at Small Cakes. My friends at Small Cakes are hosting a free character meet and greet with the Snow Queen at all 3 locations, beginning at their new one in Mandarin on Saturday, December 9th. Take photos with this amazing character, plus there's a frozen activity sheet. All Snow Queen meet and greets are from 1 to 3 p.m. We hope you and your little ones will join us for these opportunities to meet the Snow Queen in person. Get more details online at smallcakesjacks.com.
5-Star Pizza delivers a symphony of flavors for an extraordinary artisanal experience.
Dude, come on, it's a pizza.
Well, have you seen their Piezilla? It barely fits through the doorway. Call 5-Star Pizza now and cry out for a Piezilla!
Whether it's a large commercial project or a multifamily property, trust All Pro Roofing for exceptional craftsmanship and unparalleled customer service. We use only the finest materials, ensuring durability and long-lasting results. Plus, All Pro Roofing now has a full siding and windows division. That's right, All Pro Roofing is not just about roofs anymore. All Pro Roofing, now your trusted partner for commercial roofing, multifamily projects, exterior siding, and windows. AllProRoofingLLC.com.
License number CCC 1327056.
CDC 060138. Hey, David here with World Pest Services. It's that time of year where we're starting to bring things down from the attic. Along with that comes the critters that have been hiding up there year-round. Go to RoyalPestServices.com or give us a call at 886-2847. That's 886-BUGS.
I'm Hayes Carline. I'm always going to have opinions, but sometimes I've got to get the hammer out. Listen to Hammer Time, weekdays on The Frangie Show on 1010XL. Brought to you by Golden Hammer Roofing and Gutters, the golden standard in roofing.
Golfers, when's the last time you played Cimarron? New ownership, improved greens, fairways, and tee boxes, a new clubhouse, interior, exterior, including the Stone and Barrel Tap House, indoor-outdoor bar, live music. Practice, learn, and play program is only $59 a month. Unlimited range balls, weekly clinic from teaching professionals. Golf every day, $25 after 2 o'clock. Whether you scratch or just like getting out with your buddies, you have to try the new Cimarron Golf Club on 210.
This is Hayes Carline for First Florida Credit Union. I bank with First Florida Credit Union because I trust them. I can always count on them when it comes to the vast services they provide. First Florida Credit Union was voted Best Bank in the 2023 Best of Bold City Community Choice Awards, and it's easy to see why. I go to the branch off 210 in St. Johns County and the new Durbin location, but they have 10 branches in the Jacksonville area. You need to be banking with First Florida Credit Union. They're enriching people every day. Federally insured by NCUA, Equal Housing Opportunity Lender.
Looking for a great place to enjoy some craft creations and soak up some scenery? Fernandina's Mocama Beer Company is a must-see and must-try. Nassau County knows it. Visitors need to find out about it. Mocama means near the big water where the sun is born. And if you visit their tap room in Fernandina Beach, you'll see how they've mastered equal parts precision and art in creating great flavors from IPAs to Pilsners, lagers, and sours, plus plenty more. Mocama.com, Mocama Beer Company. Start an adventure and find them in Fernandina.
This classic Army-Navy game moment is brought to you by Superior Fence and Rail, where quality matters.
I was fortunate to play in 3 Army-Navy games. I got to run out of the tunnel first my senior year at Army-Navy, an 82 season. It was an experience that I'll remember the rest of my life, every one of those games. I remember plays, I remember games, I remember faces. Is all encompassing as far as your emotions. A great experience. I wouldn't trade those experiences for anything in my life.
Superior Fence and Rail knows about exceptional customer service. From the first call to the final inspection, Superior's team provides first-class care with great communication, friendly installers, and quality fence products. There's a reason why Superior is the top-rated fence company in Jacksonville. So get off the fence and call Superior Fence and Rail for your new fence today.
When you're on the fence, about a fence, SuperiorFenceandRail.com.
This is Hayes Carline for SkyLife Elite. Are you tired of canceled flights, unruly passengers, and layovers? Call my friends at SkyLife Elite. Consider using private charter flights for your next adventure. Yes, you can afford it. Make your own schedule. Fly direct. Drive your car to Craig Airport and get directly on the plane. SkyLife Elite can make that happen. Call 490-9332, go to flyskylife.com, and find them on social media. Fly SkyLife Elite, North Florida's premier private air charter.
At the First Coast YMCA, you'll find much more than just a gym. We offer many ways to help you be active, reach weight loss goals, and find your inner strength while you connect with your community. Family memberships at the Y include unlimited group exercise classes, childcare while you work out, and youth sports participation. It's easy to join the Y and affordable for all. Plus, the Y is a great place to meet a new circle of friends. Visit the Y near you or online at fcymca.org.
This is Dr. James Perry, Assistant Team Physician for your Jacksonville Jaguars. Here's the latest update on the Jaguars, brought to you by Baptist Health and JOI.
Jags wide receiver Christian Kirk has been ruled out for this Sunday's matchup with the Browns. Offensive coordinator Press Taylor knows the value of Kirk and the troubles they will face trying to replace him.
I think there's a certain trust that he has from the quarterbacks. Christian has a certain skill set that we feel like we've really identified, honed in on, things he does well, but things the quarterbacks can trust. So there's just that certain unknown element with throwing other people in these positions to do things that he does really well in our system. We have other guys that have skill sets that we'll do our best to maximize and utilize those guys in certain situations, but it's a big loss for us with a player of Christian's caliber, physically, but also mentally what he can do and the flexibility he has within the game, within the system.
Press Taylor, courtesy of Jaguars.com. I'm Molly McDonald with your Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute Jaguars Update.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Mac in the Middle. Tom McManus. Brought to you by Renewal by Anderson. A better way to a better window on 1010XL.
Big surprise. Big surprise. Get another opportunity to go back out there and do it. But again, the guys understand that what we ask of them, they're able to do it. Just another opportunity for us to go out there and do it.
Big surprise, Tommy. That was Mike Caldwell asked, were you surprised that the run defense was that bad? Big surprise.
Yeah.
Don't know why that happened.
Well, what was it a couple weeks ago? That wasn't us. That was imposters. Remember, that was didn't Coach Caldwell say that was imposters out there? That
San
wasn't
Francisco,
us?
yeah.
Sometimes
those
it is
imposters show up about once a month.
Well, you know what? Good thing is you get to redeem yourself again. And we have, I will say that, after every bad loss, we've redeemed ourselves, the next game. So hopefully we go up there. And look, you got to win this game for more ways than one, not just to keep up in the record, but just to be hardened for the playoffs. You know what I mean? You're going to go into a nasty environment, nasty weather, and you got to get nasty. Like, this is like down and dirty, like it's, we're going to get ugly on this one. Lethal weapon, right? This one's going to get dirty. This one's going to get messy. It's going to get bloody. This is the kind of attitude you got to go in to beat Cleveland. And it'll get you hardened for the playoffs because, you're not going to – doubt you're going to be at home. Maybe one game, maybe not, but you're going to have to go on the road. And you're going to have to go into some tough places. So go up there and find a way to win. I don't care how you win the game, and it'll help you get ready for those playoffs.
All right, biggest challenge versus the Browns for Mike Caldwell's defense?
Win. That's it. As a defense, we have to understand that, we get another opportunity to go out there and help this team get to victory, and that's the only thing we're focused on. All the other stuff, we'll let it take care of itself, but it's good it was a short week because it's time to get back out there. It's not a good feeling, and, we're trying to get rid of it.
Tom, what would you say is the biggest challenge?
Are you talking to me?
for the Browns? Well,
you're looking right at me. So
you're right.
I'm sorry. I should have known better.
I should have known the table.
Make them one-dimensional, like you have in the past other offenses. You know what I mean? That's when you've had success. You shut down the run and you make them beat you. But you got to get pressure on the QB. I mean, look, if it's Flacco, he's a statue. He can still whip it. He's still got an arm, but man, you got to get after him and make sure he's uncomfortable. And if it's the other guy, he's not, very experience. So hopefully he can confuse him a little bit, So This is on the. I agree with you. This is on the defense and the O-line. We got to get back to some ass-kicking, attitude. To who cares who we're playing? We're fired up and ready to go, and we're going to take it to them.
One more here from Mike Caldwell, who was asked about having to prepare for multiple quarterbacks potentially against this Browns team.
It's difficult, but we go back and we prepare for both. Understand one guy's a little bit more mobile, other guys, veteran, being able to throw the ball all over the place. So we understand that it's a challenge, but whoever they throw out there, we have to be ready for that challenge. It's more about us. We got to make sure that we're ready to do what we need to do and get the job done.
All right, we'll see if they're able to get the job done. Let's
know the calls.
Well, that would be part of it. Let's figure out what the keys are for the Jaguars to win against the Cleveland Browns this week. Let's do today's 10-10 take.
10-10 take. Now, Mike Dempsey's 10-10 take. Brought to you by J&M Roofing Jacksonville, your storm restoration specialists.
All right, Tommy, go first. You're itching to get things off your chest today, so go ahead. What's your first key to victory?
You know what it's going to be. Just get physical. Be physical right from the get-go, man. Let them know that you are a tough team and you're here to play, and you don't care where you're playing. You don't care about the weather. I don't care if it's cold, windy, rainy. It's not going to be snowy, but just nasty. Go up there and show this league that you're one of the hardened, tough teams. Because right now I don't see enough consistency on that side, and that's going to end up hurting you in the long run. So toughen up, my number one.
I mentioned it when Aaron Beasley was in studio with us. They need the same offensive line production and attitude that they got when Trevor was playing coming off the injury against the Colts on Thursday night against New Orleans. They need that same kind of look. They're going to have to do it a little bit differently this time. Walker Little not going to be there. They're going to be down to their third tackle in this game, so it is a little bit of a different group of guys that they're going to have to get that from, but suck it up. Like, it's time. Like you said, Tommy, they got to play tough, and I think that starts with what they can get done on the lines of scrimmage. That offensive line, they need to have a big game this week.
All right, I think, they do need to get physical, but I think it all starts with the mental, man. You better be sharp this game. I don't want to hear any excuses for, wide receivers lining up in the wrong spot, whatever the case may be. I'm not just talking about Parker Washington. I'm talking about Calvin Ridley. I'm talking about just no more mental mistakes, no more blown assignments, none of that crap.
Locked in.
Your margin for error is non-existent. You cannot give up plays that shouldn't be there. This feeds into don't allow the big fluke play. That was one of our keys last week. Yeah. It's not a fluke when Jamar Chase beats you, but teams that struggle offensively, if you open the door with one blown coverage and they get that 40-yard play, that could be the difference in the football game. So I got to see this team play the most mentally sharp game of the season, and that's going to be on the road in a hostile environment. We'll see if they're up to it.
Taking it from Sean Payton, just to add, do your job. Your job is to know your position and know everything about it. So do your job. I'm going to say don't let Myles Garrett turn into Chris Jones like Chris Jones did in week 2 against this team. Do not let him dominate. He is very capable of dominating. He will line up over your center and crush him. He'll come on the outside and do the same thing. Do not let him take over. I would not leave my tackles one-on-one with him many times. I would chip him with a back. I would use the tight end Farrell. I would use whatever I have to do to make sure that my quarterback is taken care of and that we get some movement on that defensive line so we can get the ball going on the ground.
Cleveland has the number 1 ranked pass defense in the league, but they're just 14th against the run, giving up just over 107 yards a game. If the Jags rushed for 125 on Sunday, they win the game.
Agreed.
Yeah. Dearness Johnson revenge game.
Ooh, yeah.
He always
look
for the revenge narrative.
Yeah,
I have no idea if he has any ill will towards Cleveland, but I hope he plays like he does this weekend, because I think it's got to be a combination of those guys this week getting it done. And look, whether it's Flacco, whether it's Dorian Thompson-Robinson,
right,
you got to create big plays defensively in this game, whether that's turnovers or just getting sacks, forcing punts, not allowing 11-yard completions on 3rd and 10 at key spots in the game. Make the critical plays. It doesn't all look. Pick six, we'll take it, right? Yeah. Sack fumble, we'll take it. That's great. But make some big defensive stops in key moments. Come up with be the team going, not going, how do they just convert that one again on us? Just get the stops, especially when you get into 3rd and medium. Create some 3rd and mediums. Create some 3rd and longs. They didn't do enough of that against Cincinnati. It starts with stopping the run early. And they're going to try it.
Oh,
with
yeah.
Ford, with Hunt, with Strong, the whole lot of them. They're going to try to run the ball with the quarterback if Dorian Thompson-Robinson plays as well. So force them into some obvious passing situations, which usually leads to more defensive big plays, whether they're turnovers or not. We'd all take 5 turnovers right now, but you can mention that every single week. What do you got for a score? You can go Trevor and non-Trevor if you want.
Well, my one final key is the Cuz has got to make every kick. 3 out of 4 is very good, but 4 out of 4 is a lot better. I think we're going to need the Cuz this week. I got Jags 17, Browns 16.
Okay.
1-point game.
Tony?
I'll take the Jaguars 23-13.
I'm going 17-13, and I'm going that's the Trevor Lawrence model. I go Browns 13-7 with the Beathard model.
Ooh.
Ooh. Key to victory.
Juicy.
16. Get out there.
I
mean,
no, I know.
It would be, but I mean,
it is what it is.
I feel like, I really at this point I feel like Trevor's going to play. That's going to give him somewhat of a boost. We're going to have a massive, even a less than 100% Trevor Lawrence should be a massive advantage at quarterback. Now, it wasn't this week. That's not because of Trevor. That's because Jake Browning played up to a higher level than we expected. This defense cannot allow that against either of these quarterbacks. By the way, Flacco's still got an arm. If you give him time, you better be tight on your coverage on the back end because he'll throw it 50 yards flipping his wrist, man.
Lock it in, guys. You got 5 one-game seasons remaining. That's
right.
what you got left. Last week on Monday, it felt like they were a team that were buying into all that 1 seed. We're a 10-point favorite at home. Monday Night Football.
You're right. It's
like they bought
season.
into all that. It's 5 one-game seasons, guys. Go get them all.
All right, let's say hello to XL Primetime.
Now, the 2-minute drill, brought to you by Tire Outlet, keeping 1010XL on track with wholesale prices and premium service. Tire Outlet, Jacksonville's largest locally owned automotive repair shop.
All right, Matt Hayes is here. Our work is done, Matt. We've done all we can to secure a Jaguar victory against the Cleveland Browns. Don't drop the ball now. It's up to you guys to get it across the finish line. And anything short of a victory will be laid in your lap. Are you ready for the responsibility?
Fight. That's
Look at
my
this skinny
response.
guy over here, by the way.
By the way, that's my response. Fight.
Yeah.
I want to see fight Sunday.
No doubt.
Right?
Yeah, they need it, man.
From the first play, man.
Yep.
I don't understand how it's just up and down and up and down every week, man. Every week it's are they going to be ready to play? Are they going to go out there and actually fight?
Right. And that's the blueprint against them right now.
Yeah.
Be physical.
Yeah.
And you got a chance. We got to show that. They get back to that pounding and get nasty.
Fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But nasty fight.
Yeah.
Dirty.
Yes.
Got to get dirty sometimes.
I
out
agree
there, man.
completely.
Cup shots.
Maybe.
Whatever.
Look, you got to do
I'm not
do,
saying
man.
what you do, but you got to get
dirty.
dirty.
Some specifics.
You know, a little jab in the throat.
Throat
Maybe
jab.
they can't breathe so much.
Eye poke.
I don't
Poke in
know.
the eye, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
scrap
Just
their eye.
Fish hook the
happen.
mouth, right?
No spitting.
Just push on their nose as hard as you can.
Trying to go through like the
Make
whole
him cry.
Gordon Soley, shot to the solar plexus.
Yeah, that's good too.
He fish hooked the mouth.
That's right. Do
Those
something.
disgusting wrestlers. All right, Matt, what do you have coming up on your program today?
We're talking ball. We're talking, of course, Jaguars. We got our coach coming in. We're going to get into some of that. And got more of this what's going on in Gainesville stuff.
Wow.
Who's left in Gainesville?
If you are not a Gators fan, you are enjoying this immensely.
Yeah. Well, I'm not a Gators fan, but I'm not necessarily enjoying it. But it's
Long
wild.
live
This whole
Billy
thing.
Napier.
I was telling the guys, I read somewhere Marvin Harrison Jr. might get $30 million to stay for a year.
Well, he's so
30.
allegedly, Ohio State offered C.J. Stroud $13 million to stay. Okay, so if Marvin Harrison's if he's gonna stay at Ohio State, this is the point I made yesterday, and avoid maybe the second overall pick, which would be $4 million, $36 million. Is
That's
that right?
for over 4 years.
Yeah.
Right.
But still, that's a guaranteed amount of money there.
Right.
And you start your career,
Push it
and
off
you got
in 1
you
year.
got all kind of stuff going on.
That's incredible.
I don't know. If somebody's offered me $30 million to come back for one more year, I will.
Oh yeah, no. I agree with that.
Absolutely.
I agree with that. I don't know what the number is, but if somebody
That's what Tom said he heard was 30.
I heard that.
he
That's
could
what I
get
read
30
this morning. That
to
he could
stay.
get up to 30 to stay.
he's going to stay and get $30 million and lose to Michigan again? Is that what he's going to do?
Maybe, but he'll be like,
and
me
and my Rolls Royce.
Well, that was the reason he
right?
wanted to come back, because he wants to beat Michigan and win the national title.
He's going to go buy the governor's mansion in Columbus. Hey, Gov, can you move out of the way? I got
Goals
$30 million.
Goals change. All right, Matt, have a great show.
All right, boys.
Appreciate it. Matt Hayes with the XL Primetime crew for the next 3 hours. Tommy, any gigs?
No gigs. My daughter has a gig tomorrow night, though, out at the Beaches Pavilion with Deck the Chairs. I always do a Christmas dance performance with Nancy Dance, so that'll be fun. Tonight, a couple parties, which, they'll be fun. I got to pace myself because there's two of them. I got to stay awake longer is what that means, so I'll do that. And then Sunday, doing the early kickoff show here with Mia. And then going to sit on the couch and hopefully watch our Jags whoop some ass.
Right on, Tony.
Not a surprise, just a bit of news here. The Jags have officially placed Christian Kirk on the injured reserve list. We just knew it was coming, right? Yeah. It's just a formality at that point, but they have officially got that done. No plans this weekend.
All right.
I'll see you on Sunday morning.
I'll see you on Sunday as well.
Beauty.
Going to go hit some golf balls.
Nice.
That's my life.
Hell yeah, man.
Hit some golf balls, do some radio shows. Got radio tonight, tomorrow, all day Sunday. It's football season.
Tis the season,
Tis the season. Pockets, have a good weekend.
Appreciate it.
All right, buddy. There we go. That'll do it for us. Hopefully Victory Monday with David Garrard joining us next week. Thanks to Aaron Beasley for joining us early in the program today in studio. Good to have him back in Jacksonville. For Tommy Mack, Tony Smith, and Dylan Denmark, I'm Mike Dempsey. Stick around. XL Primetime is next, and go Jags.
Jaguars Today Friday
is brought to you by
CSS Fireplaces